You know, sometimes you get some of those games. You get those games that happen and just puts you in such a good mood. And last night was exactly one of those games.
Bohm has driven in 3. Castellanos has driven in 3. Smeltzer kicks and deals, and the pitch is crushed way back to left, and gone. Wow. Alec Bohm way up the alley in left center field. It's a 3-run home run for Alec Bohm.
And a 6 RBI night so far.
Yeah. That was a no doubt about it type of shot from Alec Bohm. And if you watch that at bat, the first pitch came to him. It was an 88-mile-per-hour fastball. This was the inning that basically everything, well, they got to Sandy Alcantara, but I'm not sure if that was the same inning they got pulled. But this was the inning that there was a couple runs that were scored. Bohm comes up to the plate, and I just want to say, like, this is growth. Like, you see it. The first pitch was such a meatball. It was an 88-mile-per-hour fastball right over the heart of the plate. And you could just tell that Bohm wanted to just ramp up and crush that ball. But he didn't. It was the first pitch in that at bat. And you know, you got the pitcher reeling. So you want to make him work. And it was just a heady, you know, you give him such a praise to just sit back and let that ball take that pitch, strike one. It's all good. 0-1 is not the end of the world. And then next thing you know, that following pitch, and you know me, Jon Jansen, I love the crack of the bat. Let's have another listen.
That was a crack.
The next pitch, I believe, was a 74-mile-per-hour the nothing burger. I don't even know what it was. A changeup curveball. It was into the seats. That's what it was. Let's have a listen.
Bohm has driven in 3. Castellanos has driven in 3. Smeltzer kicks and deals, and the pitch is crushed.
So pure. So pure.
Kicks and deals, and the pitch is crushed way back to left, and gone.
Gone. There was a lot of those yesterday. Great game to just tune in and, you know, for I said yesterday to start the show, look, the Phillies took 2 or 3 over the weekend, and it was what was needed, right? Like everybody just for the most part.
It was, but the Saturday and Sunday games weren't the best. Not hitting well. Then Sunday you have all those base running errors, multiple runs that are outs at home plate. So when you have those issues, it's like, okay, you beat the Reds, good. But is everything truly fixed? And that felt like that third inning, which they had 2 outs, I think, primarily most of the time. They're working walks. They're hitting good pitches opposite way. So it's not like Sandy Alcantara's pitching poorly. They were spoiling, I think, really good pitches. And when you can do that, then that shows me you maybe are turning the corner a little bit. So I think that was the game that finally was like, okay, this is maybe going to get better. Hopefully. Because one thing I think they're really missing is power. They're one of the lowest teams already in home run totals. And they finally got Jake Cave with a home run. And of course, not home runs from everybody else. He did get it from Bohm, but extra base hits from guys like Nick Castellanos. So that is good. They were all encouraging signs, but I think mostly the way they worked Alcantara, a really good pitcher, and pretty much spoiled a good outing, it looked like, from him. That's impressive.
Yeah, and of course, Sandy is just rock solid. The kid has just been so dialed in since basically all of last year, and I think he's got the only heading into yesterday, the only complete game shutout. So he's got that was 7th, I think, his 7th one dating back to last year heading into yesterday's game. He did not get through 9 innings yesterday. The Phillies beat the brakes off of them. And more of that, please, as they are going head-to-head for the next 2 days. Tomorrow's a 4:05, tonight, 7 o'clock start. With your boy, Aaron Nola on the mound. Is tonight a big start for Mr. Nola, Jon Jansen?
No, it's not a big start. It's a start early in the season. He'll be fine.
It's his
He'll have a good start.
He should. He's pitched well against the Marlins his career. I mean, who hasn't? And especially last year. To get 3 starts last year, he's got like
It's a good call.
ERA.
Who hasn't pitched well against the Marlins? Because you're maybe not that good.
No. All right, so we got a lot to get into. I apologize about the technical difficulties yesterday, but sometimes you just got to know when to say when. And that was
it was funny. I just get a text. I text you like, it sounds like you're having a good Monday. You got on for a little bit and you were saying the technical difficulty problems. And the next text I get from you, I think like 5 to 10 minutes later was, I'm out. That's it.
See ya. That's how I handle it. Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Did a couple things around.
You said, I'm out. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yep. See ya. I ain't dealing with that crap. Nope. I did 12, 13 minutes with nobody listening. Played sound bites, set up, some sound.
It was probably the best 12 minutes you've ever had on radio.
I couldn't redo it again. I just said, I'm out. So went home and did some yard work and tightened up some things, and here we are today.
Did some yard work.
Yeah.
Man, working on the yard.
And we're still dealing with some technical difficulties. There's Jon Jansen's camera, supposedly, and his brand new computer is not working.
It's not brand new. It's like I got an older computer because it was cheaper.
Brand new.
It's brand new, but it's a not spec'd up, high-tech computer.
Does it have a webcam?
So it does have a webcam
but
on
it. Broke.
It didn't break. So there's something about it that it doesn't show up, and I have to fix the drivers or update drivers on it, and then I got to uninstall and install it again over and over again. So I'm just hoping and praying that one of these times is going to work.
Just buy a new cam. They're $10. Amazon it. You know what? I'll buy it for you. I'll send it to your house. Give me your address. No, over the airwaves. Give me your address.
I've already done that before. I can't do that again.
All right. We got plenty to discuss, of course, with the play-in games going off this evening, NBA action back in our lives. That actually means something. I'm looking forward to actually wanting to watch a couple of these games. This past week has just been a disaster for the NBA. The NHL is going through it right now. They play too many games. 100% they play too many games. And I'll tell you right now, they're going to deal with this because the backlash is going to come from season ticket holders, and you're charging me for 41 games, yet you don't play 41 games. Look at perfect case in point. Look at the 76ers, what they're rolling out there. It was the blue coats. You can't charge me for 41 games if you're not going to play 41 games. You don't need to play 82 games in a season. So I know the owners won't want to come off of that number because that's the almighty dollar controls all. But if you get enough season ticket holders to say enough is enough, then I think they have to listen to their consumer. But I'm sure that there's 1,000,001 people in line that would love to have that issue at the end of the season. If that's the case, then more power to you as far as a franchise is concerned. But look at the NHL, all the storylines this week. It's a disaster. And of course, as we just discussed with the NBA, I can't wait to actually watch a game tonight and know who's playing, actually care about the result, and maybe place a wager or two on the game.
Yeah, how does it feel? The NBA season officially begins tonight, Sean.
It does, because I think we could sit there.
I say that as a joke, but for real, I mean,
no, it does.
We don't care about November basketball. We don't care. We don't care about basketball till Christmas.
No, I care about.
And
Christmas.
then we get to about the All-Star break, and then after the All-Star break, we go, just get me to the playoffs. So there's this small 2-month window during the regular season where they're kind of sorting things out. But then when it's sorted out, by the time they get to the All-Star break, then we go, okay, let's get to the playoffs.
I'm not going to argue with you. For me, I don't want to diminish the NBA season, and
they diminish it themselves. The NBA tells you that they diminish it.
It's hard to argue. I mean, what was the big storyline? This play-in nonsense.
So what is this?
Where 22 teams make the playoffs?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. And then also,
that's really drawing
you
me
have
in.
to have a minimum of 65 games to be up for awards. Why not just change the schedule to 65 games then, if that's your magic number? If that's the number, and players, you're finding out, okay, what are the averages of some of the star players? It's about 65 games. Okay, let's put it down to 65 games. So our star players can play a little bit more than that, play around that number, but a little bit less than that, and they get punished. Why not just make it 65 games then? If that's the number, that's the key number you have locked in on, is that's the amount of games that star players should be playing, then why not just change it that way?
Don't know.
Obviously, it's the almighty dollar. You're absolutely right.
Always.
Because I think I saw most of the numbers. They're filling out arenas well. The TV numbers are pretty good, it seems like.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's
NBA?
going. Yeah.
NBA's crushing it.
Exactly.
Whatever happened to once you go woke, you go broke? I guess that doesn't apply to the NBA because they're doing really well. They're actually thriving.
They're doing fine.
Yeah. They're actually doing more than fine.
Yeah, I know. They're
thriving.
doing very well.
Yeah, very well. Very well. Well, anyways, again, I would say that if you want to go ahead and make me the commissioner, I'm all about it. I would shorten it. I know that that's going to take a hit to the ownerships or the owners around the league, but I think that would be the best for the product. And then on top of it, I would add in that mid-season tournament too, as well, which is a completely different ball game than we're used to. But I promise you this: you get past it, just like the pitch clock. We're all going to it will make sense to us 3-4 years down the road. And it's actually a good thing. I think those in-season tournaments add an extra layer to some things that are happening. I don't think you can do it in all sports.
But it's something that, we see this in soccer a lot. There are different types of, like, there's for the Union, CONCACAF Champions League, then there's Leagues Cup that's going to be going on and all this kinds of stuff. And it happens over in the English Premier League. They have Champions League there too and all this stuff. Yeah, I know American sports, we kind of reject all of those for some reason. I don't know why.
Because we're not used to it. And
not used to it.
It's anything that has the hint of soccer.
Yeah, I know. That
Americans
is absolutely
hate
true.
it. Like, oh my God, get me away from that pansy sport. When it's actually,
what are we, soccer? Yeah, it's like, what are we, soccer now? It's like, okay, well, soccer seems to be doing pretty well.
I also think
their season matters and everybody cares about it.
I also think you could take what the forgive me, what is it? It's such a bad job by me. The hell did the Union lose? They lost a couple finals.
Open Cup.
Yeah.
There
you go. Thank you, Johnny Soccer.
Wow, I'm the soccer guy now.
Open Cup.
Look at me.
What they do in the Open Cup is they're taking on teams from different leagues, all in America. So you don't have to be from the MLS. I think the NBA. I don't know where you can go with that. I don't know if the Ignite League. Can you get them involved? I think that would be pretty cool. I don't know if you can get the Blue Coats and the G League involved.
I don't think you'll be able to do relegation stuff. That's
not relegation. I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
No. This is just adding. If you want to create a mid-season tournament that deals specifically with the NBA, I get that you can go ahead and involve those G League teams, and therefore you get new names and the rosters expand, which is cool. But I think another step, and maybe they can do it, maybe they can't do it. I don't know. I don't know what teams are available, but maybe you expand the rosters or you just keep them different. And top 5 teams from the G League are automatically entered into this tournament for the next year, taking on the top 8 teams in the NBA and so on and so forth. Maybe you get the Ignite leagues involved. I don't know, but I think that would add an extra wrinkle to it. Forgive me for saying it a couple times here. Versus just having a mid-season tournament that featured nothing but NBA teams. That's all. Make sense?
Sure.
Thank you. Moving on. We got 2 games tonight. We'll talk specifically about both of those games. We got Sean Barnard. Plus, we have our NBA playoff series. A few of them locked in, including the Cavs and Knicks, which I just think is going to be an incredible series. So I can't wait to talk to Sean Barnard. He's going to join us at 4:30. And then we have Jared Smith from Fox Sports Radio at 5:05. But folks, joining us at 3:30 here, quickly fast approaching. Our friends from the Workhorse Tour. Remember that last year? Last year it was the Workhorse Tour. I had Dan Hershberg in here, and of course, everybody loves Workhorse Brewing and the tremendous brews that they put out. Great location. I don't think they got multiple locations. I could be getting that wrong, but I know they got the one location in Kicker Parts that I visit quite frequently, and it's awesome. It's a great place to catch the game. Beautiful spot. They just enjoy some awesome Workhorse beers because they got some tasty beverages over there. But they have changed the game up. All right. They are no longer known as the Workhorse Tour. It is now the Amateur Golf Society Tour. And you can find those guys and gals, exactly that, amateurgolfsociety.com. Competitive golf on your schedule. Dan Hershberg is one of the guys that put this bad boy together. He's going to join us at 3:30 to tell us how we can all get involved, get out there and golf more, which is always great. And of course, the changes, they're now really 1-1 with the GAP, the Golf Association of Philadelphia. And for people like me, I want to play more golf. So how do you do that? You get involved with the Amateur Golf Society Tour, and they make it happen. They got some really great prizes, some great courses that they go have tour stops with, and we're going to get the full breakdown from Dan Hershberg. He's going to join us at 3:30, and I promise you this, I think we're going to be involved a little bit here. I would like to say that the boys and girls over there at Swinging and Dinging are knocking down doors, and hopefully we can get involved as well from a station standpoint. I would like to help these guys out as much as possible, because what they have is just a gym. I mean, it's a great tour. They really kicked down doors with the Workhorse Tour, and now Amateur Golf Society, new logo, new name, and new vision as well. So we'll get the breakdown from Dan Hershberg. But I'm trying to play some golf tomorrow, matter of fact, Jon Jansen.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is that your first time this year?
Might
Or
have-
have you already been out?
I have not been out yet, but I am going to Atlantic. I'm going to Atlantic City. I'm going to Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach, Atlantic City, a lot of similarities. But I'm going to Myrtle Beach at the end of the month for our golf.
Are you nervous?
No.
No, you're not nervous?
No.
Excited?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Get me away for a couple of days. Unplug the phone.
No, I mean, like, nervous for the first time going out.
No.
Okay.
No. I could putt. I could chip.
Are you sure?
I can't chip. No. I could putt. I can hit my pitching wedge. I can hit my 9-iron. I can hit my 8-iron, my 7-iron. I'll be all right. Dude, all I know is I watched the Masters all weekend, and I saw some piss poor shots all over the place. That game, the game of golf.
Yeah, but that happens, just a few times around.
No,
four.
BS.
Not almost every hole.
BS. It happens every hole. Those guys are hitting bad shots on every freaking hole, yet they just know how to get out of trouble. Like Jordan Spieth hooks a drive 150 yards to the left. All right. This is easily on two damn holes over, right? And what does he do? He goes over the trees, puts it back on the fairway, drops the chip in within a foot, taps the putt in for par. That's what they all do. They all screw up. They all hook. They all shank. They all, slice. They don't top it. You don't see that like amateurs, like people like myself.
Right. They can always lift the ball.
Yeah, they don't top it, but they hook the hell out of it. There was some bad golf being played. Now, I get it. Weather was atrocious. It was really cold, but man, that's what, let me ask you there, Johnny Camera. Nice work. You're now joined the party.
Oh my God, there's LeBron just smiling down upon us.
And I'm
okay. Whoa,
betting against LeBron.
I was about to say, you betting?
No.
Are you betting LeBron?
No, going against LeBron tonight. Taking the T-Wolves. You just lost your camera.
Of course, I just did.
What happened?
I have no idea.
Nice work. All right. Well, all I know is, did you watch the Masters over the weekend?
Did I watch the Masters? Yes, I watched Sunday. I watched Sunday. Yeah.
So, look, we fired up. We talk about the next day, and it's always funny to get in these conversations on air, and then you get home and you watch ESPN and all the other talking heads, and to find out which way they go. And it's not hard. It's, did Brooks Koepka choke it, or did Jon Rahm win? And I saw a majority of people talk about Brooks Koepka, and I think it's all fun and it's all well and good, and I think Brooks Koepka deserves the heat. But Jon Rahm, what he did, if you're not talking about Jon Rahm as the center of everything golf right now, you're doing him a disservice in yourself. I just looking at you like you're not understanding what you're seeing right now. Jon Rahm and what he did throughout those 4 rounds, flawless. He's the best player on tour. He's an absolute beast, mentally strong. He was not affected. I mean, look, they were all like dealing with it. The scores went down, but my man was out there in the thick of it. Birdies, pars, not dropping strokes on Saturday. I was so impressed with Jon Rahm over the weekend. And I don't know why I was, other than the fact that you looked at what everybody else was doing, and Jon Rahm was just still steady as she comes, steady in the boat, and then pulled away with it in Sunday where he was trailing by 4 strokes. I didn't think Brooks Koepka was going to win. I thought Jon Rahm was going to be the play the whole time, but
yeah, it's not like Rahm was out of it at any point.
no,
he was right there with Brooks, and he just played better in the last round.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun to be able to watch.
Yeah, it's more credit to Rahm, just how consistent of a golfer.
Absolutely, and I don't know why people were talking about. I think the majority of the reason why that I feel like more people were talking about Brooks collapsing. It's more fun to discuss that, especially with the ego that he has, especially with the baggage with the Live Tour, all of the above, right? So, it's fun to poke because he had a 4-stroke lead going in the Sunday, which I think he had 18 plus 6, 5 holes. So 23 total holes of golf on Sunday, and he folded. He just didn't have it, but still a great tournament by Brooks Koepka. And, kind of kicking myself a little bit more because there was money to be made on Brooks Koepka from the top 5, top 10. Jordan Spieth cashed for me, so I was happy about that. Took a shot at Cam Smith, did not happen. Bryson DeChambeau to miss the cut, that cashed. So 2 out of my 5 plays all hit, and we ended up coming out in the plus money on the Masters. So I give that a thumbs up over the weekend, but tremendous television, and I'm cool with it once every 5 years if it rains like that, but I absolutely prefer to have beautiful, beautiful weather.
Let's not have it just messed up everything.
It really did. It really did. All right.
It was kind of fun though having golf on that early. Like meaningful golf on that early.
8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of enjoyed that.
No, yeah, it was great. It was great. I watched a little bit on CBS, the streaming service, CBS.com, or just on the app on the television. Man, you would have thought that they were like running that from like a bedroom. It was really rough. The announcers were good, but the footage, the editing, the going from each hole to each, it was poor, and that's being nice. CBS better check themselves, man. Yeah, that's the Masters. I don't care if it's streaming or not. That's the Masters. If you don't have an A+ broadcast, you're doing it wrong. That's all. That's from one consumer to the outlet. So, yeah, take that. Anyways, Daily Ticket, we're just getting started. You got Jon Jansen, you got Sean Brace. We got NBA play in action. We got 15 games on the diamond to get to. We got playoff series to discuss. And the PGA Tour heading to South Carolina. So, and as a matter of fact, Jon Rahm will be playing. So, a lot to discuss. As
Rahm
I said,
is playing.
Rahm is
wow.
playing. Yeah, Rahm is playing, which is good because they had a couple other players pull out. I think Rory pulled out and somebody else pulled out. So, I'm glad Rahm is holding it down and playing.
Surprised he's still not celebrating.
I know I would be. But it doesn't matter. That guy can go out there and drink for 5 days straight. He's going to hit him right dead center down the fairway. The guy is just a freak when it comes to hitting the golf ball. Just an incredible golfer. All right, on the other side, we'll continue to talk about the game of golf, but we'll bring it home to Philadelphia. Folks, the Amateur Golf Society. Check them out online, amateurgolfsociety.com. Dan Hershberg will let us know what's happening with AGS the Tour on the other side. Do not go anywhere. Just getting started. Back after this.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Westbound Schuylkill calling Bear to south with a crash in the left lane. Eastbound Jam Montgomery Drive to south. 95 northbound back to Allegheny Bridge. And West Whiteland 202 southbound calling between Route 100 and 322 with a car fire. The right lane's blocked. Laura Tutela, total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. It pays to be a pro at Lowe's. Right now, save big on DeWalt power tools, accessories, and more. Plus, find big savings on job-lot quantities when buying in bulk because Lowe's knows pros. While supplies last, minimum purchase required. Selection varies by location. Lowe's reserves the right to limit quantities.
At QC Kinetics, we have story after story of patients freed from agonizing pain through amazing regenerative treatments. But this one, well, it's extra special.
My father, who is 70 years old, had both of his knees worn out. He went to an orthopedic surgeon who said, you need both of your knees operated on. We can book you for next week.
But Dr. Daniel Zuckerman, a QC Kinetics medical director, knew he had other options.
I had him come to QC Kinetics. We treated both of his knees using our protocols with regenerative medicine. Within a few months, he was back to walking. A few months later, he was at the gym exercising 3 times a week. He can keep up with our 3.5-year-old little girl.
No surgery, no complicated rehab or downtime.
It's completely life-changing for him.
You have options too. Before they whisk you away to surgery, slow down. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 215-999-3000. That's 215-999-3000. 215-999-3000.
In this week's Marketers Report, Chris Brandt, Chief Marketing Officer at Chipotle Mexican Grill, weighs in on the power of audio.
We've used audio to reinforce what we're showing on TV, what we're showing in other digital channels. When your priority is driving reach, boy, everybody seems to listen to the radio.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, conversations, trusted influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, Navage is the best thing I bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing. Or this one. I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better, unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Did you know your completely free iHeartRadio app is also your home for hit podcasts? New for you this week, check out On Purpose with Jay Shetty, discussing philosophy, life, and conversations with the biggest stars in the world. Listen today on your free iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio! Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter. Locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No. Call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
The Gambler. Phillies home for all things sports gambling.
If only the people could hear the conversation before we bring the guest on. Most of the time, that's where a lot of the good
Most of the time they talk trash.
Yeah, that's it. And
I don't know if they hate you or
I just got ripped pretty good there. That was nice. But the moral of the story, kiddies, is play more golf. And that's exactly what I plan on doing. A matter of fact, I told you this, Jon Jansen. My New Year's resolution got a big old frown face by my wife. But I did say,
but that's always
New Year's Eve, I gave her a kiss and I said, my New Year's resolution to play more golf. And you know how you can do that? By signing up and becoming a member at the Amateur Golf Society. All right, folks, go to online right now, amateurgolfsociety.com. The founder and GM of this fantastic tour, of course, we all know it as the Workhorse Tour, but now on to newer and brighter ventures over here at the AGS Tour, the Amateur Golf Society. .com is where you can get all the information. Dan Hershberg joining us right now on the Gambler Hotline. Danny, how you doing today, sir?
Sean, I am fantastic. As much as I'd love to be having this conversation on the golf course with you guys today, I think a phone call will suffice at the interim.
Hey, man. I'm trying.
You don't want to see me on a golf course.
Well, yeah.
Or at least the groundskeepers don't want to see me.
Unless they got, I'm going to lose a couple inches in the middle of the, actually not the fairway, but in the rough. But, it's all good. So, Dan, look, I've been seeing a lot of the, first of all, I don't want to cut things down short. Do you guys go by AGS at all? The AGS Tour?
We do. AGS Tour is perfect.
I like
it. All right. AmateurGolfSociety.com. AGS Tour. Of course, we know what the Workhorse Tour was. You stopped by the studio the last 2 years, giving us all the updates, and every single year you just continue to grow and grow and get bigger and bigger. And I'm sure, look, that's part of what the rebranding is. Why the change from Workhorse to the Amateur Golf Society? Of course, find all the details at AmateurGolfSociety.com.
Well, I figure, Sean, I started my career in Philadelphia sports apparel. I moved into beer. And so I'm just hitting the trifecta here of things I love to do and figured I'd go into golf full time. So the progression has been steady over the last, 3 or 4 years getting this project up and running. And, we had a great time at Workhorse. I'm, co-founder of the brewery, still love all my people over there and support them in everything they do. But, at some point you kind of outgrow, your situation. And for us, the tour had, I think, much better opportunity to solve problems as a golf business than it did as a beer business. So we spun it out. We were really fortunate to have a terrific partner in the Golf Association of Philadelphia, the oldest association in the country, certainly one of the most well-respected. And they kind of approached us and said, listen, we'd love to work with you on growing this project, not just locally, but in the region. And we've kind of leveraged that connection to move the tour, not just in Pennsylvania, but now we have 60 events in New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania combined, with many more states to come in the future. So we're pretty excited about it.
Wow. Okay. So that's the first thing that seems new to me off the top of my head. Were you in Delaware? Were you in Jersey with the Workhorse Tour?
We had 3 events in Delaware last year, but we were somewhat limited to what we could do given our distribution from a beer standpoint. But
Understood.
Now that we are not tethered to the brewery, we are able to expand anywhere where there are golfers who want to play more golf. And last time I checked, that's pretty much every golfer everywhere. So it gives us a lot of growth opportunity.
Amen to that. Talk to me about the app. I remember there was a lot of details, a lot of work into the app. What's happening now with the app as far as tee times? Is that the go-to for anybody that wants to join? Download the app and you'll see how easy it is to play in these tournaments?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest bits of feedback we got from members last year was that with the continual popularity in the game of golf, it was really hard to find tee times. And the way our model used to work was that you would call up the course directly or just book with them. And, sometimes they just didn't have an opportunity to find a tee time that worked, even with our flexible scheduling. So we were fortunate enough to develop relationships with course partners who would allow us advanced early access to their tee sheet. And now all members of the Amateur Golf Society are able to log into our app after registration, and they have exclusive advanced access to every single tee sheet on tour this year. So you don't have to wait for the general public to get access. You can log in, you can book a tee time, you can search by other tour members, you can invite guests or friends to join you. And you're paying the same price that you'd be paying if you're going directly through the course. So it's a really unique opportunity for our members to guarantee access to the best public courses in the tri-state area.
And to find that app, is it just as simple as going to your app store and getting the amateur, or typing in Amateur Golf Society, or is it available on the website? If I went there, does it have a link I can go ahead? Nice.
So the best way to do the app is just go to AmateurGolfSociety.com. You'll see join now buttons on every page. Once you go through that registration, you will be prompted to add the app to your home screen. So this is what's called a progressive web app. And the thing that's great about that, as opposed to going through the app store, is that, we make constant updates to member perks, to sponsors coming on board, to prize pools. And we're able to do that in real time by making it a progressive web app. So there's instructions that you'll see when you finish the registration process on how to add it to your home screen. And then once you do, it functions exactly like a fully native mobile app. So it's a great tool, and we're excited for people to continue to dive in and use it.
See, Jon Jansen, you could just hear it, right? Like you could just hear how good this actually is. And Dan just leading the charge. I mean, every time he comes in, I walk away going, yeah, man, that's a guy that knows a thing or two about a thing or two right there. So Dan Hershberg joining us right now. The Golf Association of Philadelphia, presented by, is that new? I know you had a relationship, correct me if I'm wrong, but presented by, is that a new thing for this upcoming season?
That it is, yes. So we've really deepened our relationship. We had a good starting partnership with those guys last year, but I think once the concept was proved out that, hey, this has legs and it helps them in a number of ways to grow the game in ways beyond what we typically associate with the phrase "grow the game." We're giving access to golfers of all levels. We're giving them access to tee sheets. They're getting to play new courses and support association courses in this region. So GAP came on board, and the nice thing too for our members is now you get, in addition to becoming a member of the AGS Tour, you're a full-blooded GAP member. So that gives you access to all the benefits of being part of the Golf Association. One-day events, member play days, magazine subscriptions, detailed access to the GYN network for handicap management. It's a no-brainer type of partnership for both parties, and it only serves to benefit the amateur golfer.
Tell you what, Dan, I just get so excited to see every single week and all of these awesome courses from around our area, some that I know, some that I've played many times, some that I have no idea where they're located at, and others that just scare the hell out of me, like Broad Run. That one beats me up every single time. But Ravensclaw is absolutely one of my favorite. Letter Rock, I've done okay there as well. Walnut Lane, an oldie but a goodie, baby. Walnut Lane, and especially the changes that they've done. They opened it up over this last year too. I drive Walnut Lane. Walnut Lane ain't like it used to be. I'll just let everybody know about that. Let's talk a little about the opener, though, on April 24th through the 30th for new members. People that are hearing this conversation right now, Dan, they're excited. They told their wife on New Year's Eve that they were going to play more golf this upcoming year.
I wonder who would do that.
And they're listening, and they say, I want to be involved on the AGS Tour. It starts on the 24th to the 30th through Bella Vista. Take us through what exactly that means.
Yeah, so once you go to the website, you click join now, you go through a simple 3-minute registration process. You are now a member of the tour. You'll get access to those tee sheets for not just that first series of events on the 24th, but again, every event on our calendar through October. When you want to play, all you have to do is book a tee time. So it's simple. You choose the window that works for you. All of our tournaments are 7 days in length. So unlike a traditional golf outing or golf tour where you're forced to play at a set day and a set time for an exorbitant price, we basically say, hey, you want to play in this tournament? You pick any day or time during the week where there's an available booking. You go and do it, play 18 holes of golf, and you're good to go. You'll post your score in our app. You're able to see your real-time leaderboards and standings based on your net flight. So this is an all-levels competition, Brace. It does not matter if you are a stick who shoots 75 or if you shoot 120. You're going to be grouped with golfers of similar abilities on a week-to-week basis, and you get to earn points for your performance, regardless of how good you are. So it's an exciting opportunity. We definitely provide a lot of different, as you mentioned, great courses out here in the tri-state area. And there's tons of FAQs on our website, and we're always available too. If you want to shoot us an email at info@amateurgolfsociety.com, we answer promptly and get you any info you need to help understand how it works.
Excellent stuff right there. Once again, amateurgolfsociety.com. Talking to Dan Hershberg, the founder and GM of this fantastic tour. And another thing, Dan, I'm just saying, you look, I'm sure a lot of people are listening like, all right, yeah, this is going to be expensive, right? But Dan, it's really not. The 2023 membership packages, and again, everything is listed right there in front of you. You guys, you're giving away a ton of perks for becoming a member, but just your standard membership, $75 annual fee, women and men right there. The standard senior for $65. The premium, I mean, that's as good as it comes, and that's $100. I mean, this is a really, really cool tour. And I don't know. I don't know other tours to compare it to when it comes to, the amateur style of golf. But I would say the price is extremely fair.
I think that's what we're trying to do, right? We want to give opportunities to people of all means to enjoy more golf. And that doesn't mean spending $300 on a one-day outing and getting a swag box that you don't really need or stuff that you're going to re-gift to somebody later. Our goal here is we want to keep it affordable. That membership fee not only includes your GYN number from the USGA for handicapping, and you can certainly use your existing number if you have one already and just extend your license through the end of the year, but includes member perks, access to our prize pool. We have a series of one-day events, match play events for the first time at private clubs throughout the area too. So you're getting private course access. Our tour championships this year are hosted at really historic venues: White Marsh Valley Country Club, Atlantic City Country Club, and Rock Manor down in Delaware. So we're really providing, I think, a mix of high-end private courses, the best public courses in the area. And again, you're just paying a green fee. So if you want to do it on, an off-peak time and pay $40 to walk, you'll have that opportunity. If you want to play peak time on Saturday at a high-end course and the rate is $120, that's what you're going to pay. We don't mark it up from what course would charge you.
And you guys have somebody that will be at the course on still. So like you come up to that course, and if you have any questions at that point in time, a little confused, there'll be somebody there to help you out.
So the courses now are essentially our kind of primary point of contact. So there won't be an AGS Tour staffer there on a day-to-day basis. There are certain events where you will see one of our people, but all of our course partners are fully bought in.
Sure.
They've got a handbook that explains everything, and they'll be a great resource to get any questions answered day of the event.
Yeah, and especially now, this is a couple years into this bad boy. When did the Workhorse Tour exactly start for you?
Yeah, so we started right around this time 2 years ago in 2021. So this will be our third season of play under this format.
Wow, this is excellent stuff. Dan, you ready for this one? I'm going to play Bella Vista.
No, he's not.
Yes,
No,
I
he's
am.
not.
Yes, I am.
He says
Dan.
it all the time.
I'm going to play
He
Bella
always
Vista.
makes plans and then he forgets about him. And he's like, oh, my wife said I have to do this. And then he doesn't do it.
That is normally my excuse. But when it comes
It's
to
a good
golf,
excuse, though. I'll
when
give
it
you
comes to
that one.
golf. And on top of it, I'm going to Myrtle Beach that weekend to celebrate my 42nd birthday. So I can't go down there losing all my money on my birthday. I got to win some money here. So I got to get out there on the course. I will be playing at Bella Vista, the first event on the AGS Tour. I promise you. Dan Hershberg, I'm not lying to you. I would not lie to the listening audience right now, Dan.
Don't hold your breath on that one,
looking you
Dan.
dead in the eyes and telling you will see me
The
there.
only thing that's tough about that, Brace, is that I think you just broke our web server because of all the people that just signed up to join you for that first outing there. So unbelievable.
Hey,
I will see you on the course with bells on.
I was gonna say yes. If you could slide in and ride with me on that one, that'd be awesome. Or we can get a foursome. Let me know. But
It would be my pleasure.
Oh my man, I look forward to it. Dan Hershberg, once again, the founder, folks, AmateurGolfSociety.com, crushing it every single year and moving on to some bigger and better things this year. The changing of the name is not the only change you will see for this upcoming season. And Dan, obviously, big fan of everything that you've been doing. And of course, I caught the latest Swinging and Ding It when you're hopping on with those guys and talking about what's going on there. Of course, Moose, everybody is a big fan of you behind the scenes here. So anything you need, sir, you know, you got our numbers, reach out. I definitely would love to get involved and get the word out as much as possible. So please don't hesitate to pick up that phone, text me, call me, email me, whatever. But you will see me, Bella Vista, dropping 106 to start my golf season off. All right.
As long as it beats your index, that's good enough to win prizes on the tour. So I'm excited to see your name on the leaderboard and just really appreciate the opportunity to share what we're doing. You guys have been great partners in spreading the word and really just appreciate all the time and energy and looking forward to seeing you out there this season, my friend.
Dan Hershberg, once again, your socials. I just tweeted it out. I apologize. It is the AGS.
The AGS Tour.
There it is. The AGS Tour. Is that everything on Instagram, Twitter, the whole 9 yards?
You know it. Keep it consistent.
That's it, my friend. Great stuff. Hey, we'll definitely be touching base. Keep us involved as this tour goes on. And man, just I'm so happy for you guys. And I know all the hard work that goes on behind the scenes and getting everybody involved, believing, and you got yourself a great product. So good luck this season. And I will see you on the course, my friend.
Appreciate the time. Thanks as well. Take care.
Excellent. There he is. Once again, Dan Hershberg, folks, from the AGS Tour. It would be great if it was the AGSTour.com, but I can't say that. It's the AmateurGolfSociety.com. There you go. There you go. Which is important because it's year one. You got to spell it out, Jon Jansen.
Yeah, it's not that hard to say, Sean. I think you can manage.
I just want to say the AGSTour.com. That's what I want to say. But AmateurGolfSociety.com.
Although I can't spell amateur. That's one of the things I'm terrible at.
That's funny you said that.
That's a me problem.
Because
that's definitely a me problem.
I think I emailed that. So when I went back and forth, you'll hear some spots. You'll hear some ads on iHeartRadio, the Philly.
Yeah, I always get the E and U. It's supposed to be EU amateur, but I put UE all the time.
I said, I bet you there's a lot of people out there that can't spell amateur. They get it confused. And I'm not trying to sit here and tell you that I am the spelling
No,
bee
I'm one of
champion.
those. I'll put my hand up. I am one of those that can't do it.
Like I can't put a gun to my head. Patrice O'Neill had a great bit, rest in peace, on spelling restaurant. Like if your mother's life was at stake, could you spell restaurant?
See you,
and
Mom.
I have seen. It's good knowing you, Mom.
Good knowing you, Mom.
Yeah.
Just before your 60th.
Anyways, AmateurGolfSociety.com. There you go. Ma Dukes turned 60.
Yes, 60
Nice.
at the end of this month. So big one.
How about that? What are you guys doing?
So she doesn't like big things. So I think we're just going out to a nice restaurant. We're going out to eat. Yeah, nice restaurant. I have to spell that first before I can go there. But yeah, just something very small. My mom doesn't like big events.
Okay.
She doesn't like big parties.
I love big parties.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm a big party type of guy.
I like a good medium-sized party.
You know,
I don't want like huge. What do you mean big?
Oh man, it's just
like you talking about like shoulder to shoulder at some club, like big party, wild.
Yeah,
going crazy. See, I don't like that. I need some room to breathe. I need places to walk.
Pack it up, baby. Pack it up. That's what I want. Matter of fact, you know what else I want? I think we got Champions League soccer action on. Do we?
My camera's working.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Let's add you to the party here.
So you can add me here to this. Yeah, to this.
I'll
party
believe it when I see it. There he is. There he is.
I don't want to say what the problem was.
Johnny N64.
I don't want to say what the problem was.
All right. So, folks, I mean it when I say
it's probably worse than not being able to spell restaurant or amateur.
It's all right. A lot of people can't do that. All right. Here's what we got for you, though. Let's continue.
I spelled restaurant right.
Did you?
First try. Look at that. Never mind, Mom. You're all right. Could you spell it first try? Like you want to do it now?
I'm not.
I should have done that on the air.
REST.
I think it was better for me to like actually type it out on a keyboard because I've done that before. So it's like muscle memory.
I spelled it. You tell me if it's right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right. I got it right. RESTAURANT.
Yeah. The IQ on this show is through the roof.
Restaurants. Bang.
Spelling bee champions.
Honestly, I would have said there's no way I'm getting it right, but I just took a deep breath and typed it out, and there it was. Beautiful. So I got it right. All right. Here's what we got, though. Coming up, 4:30. Sean Barnard. We're going to get all in tune on all things NBA play-in action. Of course, that's at 4:30. I would like to hit it real quick if we could right now, Jon Jansen, with the two games that we have this evening. I feel like I got a pretty good read on both of these games. Hawks and Heat going at it, game 1, 7:30 p.m. 10 p.m., T-Wolves and Lakers, 8.5.
Yeah, that one's moving to a crazy number.
5-point spread for the Heat. They're favored here, 227.5, game being played in Miami.
Are you just going with both favorites?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Oh.
Let's talk about game 1 for a second here.
Yep.
Game 1, Atlanta has had such a topsy-turvy type of season. Firing the coach, bringing Quinn. Trae Young could very well be over.
I was going to say Trae Young's on the trade block to greenlit.
You just don't have a good vibe about this team right now. Yeah. What they do very well is going to somewhat slow down the Atlanta Hawks tonight, and that is Miami Heat are very good at taking away Trae Young. Last year in that 5-game series, they cut his points per game down by half in that series. They played 4 times, I think, this year. They've shut him down or held him to, I believe, 19 points per game average throughout those contests. They understand the assignment, and it's make anyone else beat you besides Trae Young. I like the Heat here. And Jimmy Butler, you got them dogs down there, plus the defense. Spoelstra knows how to play defense at this time of year. I'm not going to think twice about this one. I like the Heat, and I don't think it's all that close. I think the Atlanta Hawks are.
Yeah, this is similar to, I wouldn't say so similar to the Sixers-Celtics situation, but yeah, the Heat have won 3 of 4 against Atlanta, and you're right. They seem to have their number. I mean, one of those games held them to under 100, which is tough to do in this NBA, be held to under 100. But the Heat, you're right, have played well defensively against them. So if they can slow down Trae Young, that's really all they have is Trae Young. I just don't think the Hawks are any good. I would go with the Heat. That's the one I'd feel more confident about is the Heat. You just have to be convinced that what you've seen from the Heat lately is actually what they are.
Could you tell me one more time that I'm right?
You're right.
Because I felt good.
Okay. Do I not usually tell you when you're right?
I don't hear it.
I mean, you're not right often, so it's hard for me to say that. But usually when you are right, I will say you are right.
All right.
And I think you're getting this one right.
We'll see how that one plays out this evening. Once again, 5-point spread on DraftKings Sportsbook, 227.5.
But the other one, it's just the number.
What do you got at Bet Parks for that game?
5.
Okay.
That's a 5.
Total?
That total's 227.5.
All right. Money coming in on the Heat because that money line was at even minus 200, now up to minus 210.
Minus 210, yep.
Plus 180 from the flip side for the Hawks. All right, to the nightcap. And of course, this is the game that we're all ready to watch. We all want it. There are so many There are so many people out there that are trying to convince themselves that the Lakers are going to go on a run.
I've already seen that. We can't do that again.
It's not going to happen.
We did it with the Nets last year. I didn't believe it, but everybody else did. Or at least enough did. Not everybody else.
Now, the
I was the only
T-Wolves
one who got it.
are their own worst enemies because what they did in that final game of the regular season, oh, by the way, a game that they won, Rudy Gobert punches his teammate Kyle Anderson in the chest, gets suspended for the game. Jaden McDaniel punches a wall. He's out for the
I can't believe
remainder.
he got suspended. Right? Isn't that kind of weird that he got suspended?
It is the playoffs.
Right. And it wasn't that egregious. We've seen Jimmy Butler go after Eric Spoelstra almost just as hard.
Draymond Green punches Jordan Poole.
Draymond Green sucker punched the heck out of Jordan
If he
Poole.
does it right now before the playoffs start, you think he's missing a game?
Way.
No.
No way.
Yeah, so
they just tell him, figure it out. You guys can figure it out. You're grown men.
I think maybe the coaching staff and players were probably like, hey, we're a better team without Rudy Gobert. So I don't know.
I don't know if it's saying that or you really just don't feel like dealing with this guy.
I don't trust that either.
If Rudy Gobert was a liked guy,
yeah,
I think he would be playing in this game.
Okay.
I don't think he's very liked.
Well, I'll tell you who I do like in this game is Karl Anthony Towns. My favorite play coming out of this game is Karl Anthony Towns on the over point total. His 23.5. I get it. It's not, plus 500. It's actually minus 125. But I love that number. I don't think that you'll see Anthony Davis stopping him. I think Karl Anthony Towns realizes that this is his moment. This is going to be a game.
He's always come up small in those moments.
Well, they did win this game last year, right? So I'm not going to make a big deal of the spot, but there are so many people out there that have the Los Angeles Lakers, winning this game and moving on to the Western Conference Finals, that maybe Cat and my guy Edwards and company want to say, you know what? Hold up. So again, my first play is Karl Anthony Towns over 23.5. Second play, I'll take the 8.5 points. I think there's still enough skill on the Minnesota Timberwolves side that if LeBron and AD don't go for 40 apiece tonight, it's going to be a tight game. So I'm going to roll with the dog with the T-Wolves at 8.5 at 10 p.m. this evening, and then go with the home team, Miami Heat, at minus 5 to open up shop at 7:30 p.m. Where do you stand on both of those games?
I like Miami. That's the one play I do like. I'll lay the 5. I don't think Atlanta's any good. Like you just said, the vibes seem off there. And the fact that we hear, or there's a report that a few days before the play-in game that, they might trade Trae Young and they're going to greenlight it. So, okay, well, maybe things aren't going well. So Miami laying the 5. I think they've been better towards the end of the season than they were most of the year. Not saying that they're great or they're going to make any noise in the Eastern Conference, but I think the Heat good enough to beat Atlanta laying the 5. I'm with you, though. I hate that we're both on the same one. I just want to play the number because I think 8.5 is too high. I think the Lakers are going to win. I think the Lakers are better. I like the Lakers in this game. And overall, I'm not going to think they make a huge run in the playoffs, but they can end up doing some good things. But 8.5 is just a ridiculous number to put on this. And I don't know if it's overreacting to Rudy Gobert. I don't know if it's everybody overreacting to the Lakers and how they looked lately. I don't know what it is, but 8.5 is too high.
Lakers and T-Wolves have played well down the stretch.
I was about to say, it's not like the T-Wolves are playing bad. They've won their last 3.
What's the number if they got Gobert and McDaniels in there?
It's a great question.
Is
it probably 5? Is it 4.5, 5?
I could live with 5. I would probably say under 5. I would say 4.5 more than anything. But 5 is that number in the NBA, and 8.5 is just, man, I tend to always side with my typical comment with a number like that at 8.5 is the odds makers are trying to tell us something. So I'm biting my lip, and I will watch this game with hopefulness that the T-Wolves are able to make this a game in LA. But the fact that the odds makers have this so lit up to 8.5, I'm definitely definitely concerned. But like I said, Karl Anthony Towns,
Yeah,
my
it's a
favorite
weird
play at
one.
23.5.
It's not a play I love.
Yeah.
But 8.5, I think you just have to play the number.
It's the playing games, baby. Sean Bernard's going to join us at 4:30. We'll talk all things NBA playoffs with him. We got a few matchups that are ready to go. We got some prices as well, some really intriguing prices. How about this for the Denver Nuggets? The Denver Nuggets, the number one team in the West, yet they are the fifth favorite when it comes to, I don't know if they cut down the nets in the NBA, but to win it all.
I don't think they do.
Nah, I would imagine they somewhat come down and they go over to Larry O'Brien, but to win the Larry O'Brien
I have
trophy.
seen that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. 5 teams in front of them. So we'll talk a little bit more on the other side about all things NBA playoffs. Also, want to mix this in today. Jon Jansen, is a special day in our industry. Today, the Sports Emmys nominations were announced.
Did we get nominated?
Jon Jansen and Sean Brace, I don't believe, made the cut again this year. Boo.
Okay. Well, then it's worthless.
Yeah. But it's always fun to go down.
Is this on an account that I said I would like hang my Emmy up in like a bathroom or something that I wouldn't really care? Do you think that?
I do love the people that put it in their bio.
I love the people that put it in the background and stuff on their shelves, on the multiple shelves they have behind them. They'll put an Emmy back there.
I'd put it on the shelf.
Nope.
I would. I can't tell you I would always, but if I had a studio where I could put it on a shelf, I would. Right now, I don't.
But you wouldn't address yourself as like Emmy Award winning.
I'm not going to
Sean Brace.
No, I'm not going to put that. That's going on my LinkedIn page, and that's about it.
I would have to put it on LinkedIn. Yeah.
The people that have the Emmy Award nominated producer, it's like, wait a minute. I get it. You're special. You worked hard on it, but come on, man. Take a breath.
Hey, I worked hard too.
Take a lap. All right, Daily Ticket rolling on.
The Emmy Award winning Daily Ticket.
Back after this.
The Daily Ticket with Sean Brace on the drive home and the line change with Jon Jansen at 9.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
In this week's Marketers Report, we hear about the importance of local radio from Allison Griffin, head of marketing at State Farm.
iHeart has such a broad broadcast reach that is local, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local feel but at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Stay tuned to Fox PHL The Gambler for the latest CEOs you should know.
My name is Roy Lightstein. I'm the CEO and president of Legacy Treatment Services.
Every day in business is a big day. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season on everything you need for spring. Like 50 to 60% off suits, blazers, and pants from his favorite designers. Buy more, save more during the Great Shoe Sale. Get 40% off 2 or more pairs, 30% off 1 pair. And get 30 to 70% off fine jewelry during our Diamond Sale. Plus, download the free Macy's app today for even more lowest prices of the season. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply.
When someone gets hurt, we know who to call. But what about a mental health crisis? The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline offers free, confidential support around the clock. Don't hesitate. Call 988. It's okay to not be okay. Remember, 988.
This is Super Bowl champion Alfred Williams. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The Flyers will play one final time in front of the home fans tonight when they take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Philly tries to end on a high note against the NHL's worst team. Full slate of baseballs on tap tonight, including the Phils going for 2 straight wins against Miami after squishing the Fish last night. And WNBA star Brittany Griner is planning to write a book about her ordeal in Russia last year. She said through her publisher she's ready to share the story. I'm Scott Davidson.
Stunning design, unmatched intelligence, and a compact ready-for-anything build. Sometimes exceptional is the rule. The Mercedes-Benz GLA, member of the unrivaled SUV family. Learn more at MBUSA.com.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Again, on the Schuylkill westbound University to Girard near South Street, there's a crash on the shoulder. Further west, backed up City to Belmont. Eastbound, stop to go Montgomery Drive to South. 95 northbound Jan Girard up the bridge. Southbound heavy Coppin to Bridge. And 420 to 320. All right, to tell a total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples print and marketing services help small business print big. Now get $15 off signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Offer ends 4/15. Visit staples.com/print big for details. This is your sign to try Staples, where prints are perfect, guaranteed.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, "My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver," unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage egg croissant plus small seasoned potatoes for $3. It's the breakfast that don't miss. So if you did miss Wendy's breakfast, don't imagine fresh cracked eggs, sizzling sausage, crispy bacon, and block out those hot, buttery, flaky croissants. Croissants don't really make a sound, but if they did, for a breakfast that don't miss, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Select a request $3 breakfast deal to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combo orders.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait. Hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, trunk lids, license plate holders, and headlights. They've got lots of headlights. When you need parts, get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. eBay Motors. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey everyone, it's Cassidy Hubbarth from ESPN.
I'm Nico Ramos, a sports broadcaster here in Manila.
Together, we have a new podcast we can't wait to share with you. Hoops Paradise, the Philippines' love of the game.
You know, there's religion, there's politics, and there's basketball. And those are the three things you talk about in the Philippines.
It's a basketball love affair like no other. Listen to Hoops Paradise, the Philippines' love of the game, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Your home for Villanova basketball is WDAS and WD273D. Fox Sports Radio Philadelphia.
Oh my God!
Now's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bang. That's bang.
Enter now.
You heard the man. Get over to foxphlgambler.com and enter the keyword for your chance to win $1,000. Once again, foxphlgambler.com.
So that team that we used to carry all their games, I think they're in action this evening tonight, right?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. I'm talking about Champions League, right?
Correct.
Tomorrow.
Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday, 10 o'clock.
Okay. Apparently,
Keep up, Sean.
Apparently, their fan base, they were tweeting pictures of Kensington. Now, this is a Mexican team.
Yeah. Atlas, yes. So Crossing Broad, obviously Kevin does a good job at that. But they posted the admin team, the social media team, posted a not so flattering photo of the city that they are visiting in Mexico. And the fan base didn't take too kindly to that, so started posting photos of like Kensington with Philadelphia Union logos and stuff.
Shot chaser.
That's a little aggressive.
I know darn well I'd rather be.
Oh, I know. Soccer fans are definitely it doesn't matter where in the United States, Mexico, overseas in Europe, wherever the soccer is, the soccer fans are going to be ruthless.
Oh, yeah.
They are the most ruthless fans in all sports.
I think after the last game, I forget, there was a goal.
Like NFL fans think they're tough and crazy and all, and nope. Soccer fans are nuts.
NFL fans are just drunk.
Yeah.
Soccer fans are drunk.
Well, soccer fans are
crazy.
drunk and aggressive.
Yeah, and crazy.
They're nuts.
I saw that somebody tweeted out a picture of bullets to who was the Union player that scored the penalty and then ran and barked in front of it. Was it Ura or
when in the first game?
It was your boy.
Gazde.
Yeah, Gazde.
Yeah,
I think it was Gazde. Yeah. And then next thing they tweeted like picture of some bullets at him and tweeted it out. I'm like, my goodness.
Jeez.
Well, we'll see what happens there. Are the Union favorites to win that? They won 1-0 in the previous game.
It's going to be close. I know from at least talking with Joe as well that the Union, at least getting 1-0 was good, but they're probably going to have to keep this a low-scoring game. Both teams are playing like crap, by the way. And they're probably going to have to keep this low scoring in order to win it. But if the scoring gets out of hand, who knows with the Union? Because they haven't been scoring at all. Their form defensively, I think, has been fine. They gave up one goal against Cincinnati. That wasn't a problem. They did well at the first leg of this round of the Champions League with a clean sheet. So there was only one game in particular that I can remember the Union's defense, and especially their two center backs, which are incredibly good, having bad games. Other than that, defensively, they've been fine. They just can't score. It's the Union from a few years ago again.
All right. Jon Jansen, Sean Brace with you here. It's the Daily Ticket. Get involved in the conversation. Folks, we're streaming Johnny Camera. He's up and running.
So do you want to know what it was?
No.
Okay.
I want you to hold that.
Because it's really dumb.
Okay. So what I would like for everybody to do is, A, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Fox PHL Gambler 735-126-911.
No, those are all gone.
Nice.
Those are gone.
Because Sean Bernard,
I think it's at Fox Sports the Gambler. It's not Fox PHL Gambler.
Fox Sports the Gambler.
Fox Sports the Gambler.
There you go. So we're on YouTube and we are streaming right now at Fox PHL Gambler as well. So if you're listening to us on the iHeartRadio app, we appreciate it. We're streaming there. We're also at 102.5 FM, 1480
Listen
AM.
to us on all of these platforms at the same time.
And 104.5 HD2.
Open up YouTube, open up Twitter, go to your radio dial.
I saw somebody pumping their HD channel. That was a mainstay for a lot of people out there. I said, okay, I like that. Shout out to the HD people out there. No, my wife is listening to HD. All right. Before we dive into the Major League Baseball card this evening, 15 games, top to bottom, everybody in action, including Jon Jansen's favorite pitcher, Aaron Nola.
Why is he my favorite pitcher?
Yeah, well, you're right. If I'm going to say it's somebody's favorite pitcher, it's Mark Henry Jr. You're right.
Yes. I like Aaron Nola. But he's not my favorite.
I like Aaron
Nola.
Nola.
You know who my favorite is?
Your favorite pitcher?
Pitcher on the Phillies, yeah.
On the Phillies?
Yeah, you got to know who he is. I was talking about him a ton. I even just tweeted about him. Do you not pay attention to what I do? What I say?
No, who is it?
Ranger Suarez.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Love Ranger.
Gotta love Ranger.
And apparently just had a 35-pitch bullpen session.
Boom.
Used all of his pitches. And Rob Thompson said they said he looked outstanding. So reinforcements on the way, which is obviously great because they need it.
So
even though Strom actually has been pretty good.
Dude.
Yeah. Guys actually surprised me a little bit.
Looking like Cole Hamels out there.
All right, relax.
Well, he wears 25.
Okay, it's still relax. It's not 35.
I haven't. Oh, was Cole 35?
Oh, come on.
Well, that's a bad. I tweeted that out last night.
God.
Cole Hamels were 35.
Cole Hamels was 35. Where have you been? What have you been doing?
Oh man, I'll give it to me. I'll do it.
What is wrong with you?
I tweeted it out last night. I said he looks like Cole Hamels out there. LOL. But anyways, because the lefty, I thought 35 was 25, 25 was 35. Bad job by me. All right. We will get on over.
Now you're making me second guess myself, but it was 35.
Yeah. We'll get on over to the MLB card in just a second. But I said, Jon Jansen, it's your favorite day of the year, and it is where we find out who is the nominees for all of the Sports Emmys, the 44th annual. Nobody cares. But we will go down this.
Does anybody care about these?
The people that win it care, and they should, because
will I care if I win it?
You should. That means you're getting noticed for what you do.
Yeah, noticed by who though?
The Sports Emmys.
Who are they?
I don't know.
They're just an entity to me. I don't know the people behind this.
All right.
Who are they? How do you know me? How do you know what I do? And look, it's all just ESPN and NFL Network and Showtime and CBS Sports.
All right, let's get on into some of these nominees here. First of all, for the hosted edited series, nominees: E60 on ESPN, Eli's Places on ESPN, NFL 360, Real Sports with Brian Gumbel, and The Shop with LeBron James on YouTube. Did not know that. Anything there? Do you watch The Shop?
No, I have not watched The Shop.
Do you watch Eli's Places?
I have not watched Eli's Places.
I watch Real Sports with Brian Gumbel. I think that's it.
I have not watched Real Sports with Brian Gumbel.
Okay.
I watch E60. E60 is very good.
I cry every time E60.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Thank God.
Every single one of them are just so well done.
Yeah. So I would give the nod to
E60.
Real Sports. All right. The nominees for short documentary are
and they're all like E60, aren't they?
38 at the Garden, which was Jeremy Lin. Fault Lines.
I heard that was really good though.
I'm sure it was.
That is a great period of time to cover. And obviously what all happened afterwards with him.
You got no shot at winning because the NBA on TNT is up for that. So good luck. NBA and TNT is going to win it. All right. Long documentary. After Jackie. I think that's after Jackie Robinson. Citizens Ash. NYC Point Gods. I watched a little bit of that. That was on Showtime. The Redeem Team. That was good. It was cool to see Kobe. And woo! Becoming Ric Flair.
I'm shocked that that's the documentary from WWE that gets nominated.
Have you watched?
Woo! I did. I didn't think it was that good.
Okay. It's Ric Flair.
Because they don't.
Style.
Ric Flair's a problematic human being. Like, yeah. Ric Flair was not a great dude.
Who is it? A problematic?
Oh no, I get it. I'm talking about a entity, a WWE that has problematic things all over the place. It is a problematic company that just nobody cares about, including, I guess, myself. But I would like to at least, when we're talking about these people, especially here in these, and it's a WWE produced documentary. But like, I can't say that that's a great documentary about Ric Flair when all it does is just glorify a lot of the things that also made him a terrible father and a terrible human.
You're talking to the Rolex.
It's great.
Wearing
awesome.
Diamond ring wearing.
Cool.
Kiss stealing. Wheeling dealing. Limousine riding.
That's right.
Jet flying. Son of a gun.
Yeah.
And I'm having a hard
time holding these alligators down.
Cool. He sucks.
All right, moving on. Love me.
There's so many great documentaries WWE does that I'm shocked at that so much. I don't know. People still like Ric Flair.
Sports Emmys nominees for studio show daily. MLB Tonight. I think the morning show is better than anything they do.
I don't know. I haven't watched it lately because I don't have the MLB network.
Damn. NFL Live.
Isn't it off YouTube TV still? Did we get it back?
Not sure. NFL Live, you should write. You know who you should write? You should write people in Congress because I think they all threw a connection.
Congress is the one that's going to help get that done?
Yeah.
Congress, the people that get nothing done are going to get that done for me?
You got it, John. They got depends what type of culture war, the side you're on, and they'll get it done.
On the side if I want to watch baseball.
Well,
can I just get the MLB network? Can I not have to spend $400 to watch NFL Sunday Ticket for a thing I already subscribed to in YouTube TV? Can that not happen, please?
NFL Live, pardon the interruption, the Rich Eisen show and Sports Center. How many people watch the Rich
Eisen show is not
I
good.
mean, come on.
Sorry. I think Rich Eisen is we've already gone through this. Rich Eisen is a very good anchor. He is not a good radio host or a studio.
He's a legend. He's been doing it forever.
He has.
The NFL Network, all the above. I'm right there with you.
That show is not good.
Show is not good. Anyways,
Dan Patrick's show is much better than that. Still,
I agree.
even now, that show is actually. And look, it's on our
Dan
airwaves.
Patrick.
So I listen to him more just because it's on our airwaves. Yeah. But Dan Patrick still, he's very good.
Agreed. The Sports Emmys nominees for outstanding.
Also, NFL Live is a good show. I will say
is.
that is they upped their game last year, and that's a very good cast.
All right, here we go. Let's get into this one. Sports Emmys nominees for play-by-play. Kenny Albert, Fox Sports, NBC Sports, and
Kenny.
TBS.
Yeah.
Mike Breen. Bang! Buck.
I feel like you just copy and paste these names every year.
I know, right? Iron Eagle.
Like, who else would you put in this?
Chris Fowler, Al Michaels, Mike Tirico.
I was Jim Nantz. They should have put Jim Nantz in there.
Should have.
No.
Who would you give it to?
For their work recently?
Yeah, this year.
I guess Joe Buck, because the move to ESPN was notable. And I thought for a lot of Monday night games that weren't great, I thought they did a good job with it.
Big fan of Chris Fowler.
I love Chris Fowler. But there was definitely a noticeable, and I think there were a lot of people like, oh, all that money and, are Buck and Aikman even that good? Come on. I think the quality of that broadcast booth was the best it's been at ESPN and Monday Night Football in a very long time.
Agreed. Sports nominees for studio analyst. Charles Barkley, end the list. No. It goes Charles Barkley, TNT, Jay Billis, Nate Burleson.
Man, Nate Burleson has just been like a rocket attached to him.
Ryan Clark, Shaq.
Really, Ryan Clark?
Kenny, Tom Verducci. Yeah, see, Ryan Clark does too much for me. So
really?
Yeah,
he's all over the place. He's everywhere.
No, I mean, like, he's just, I don't know.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I like him. It sounds like you don't like him.
It's
okay.
not to say I don't. No,
I like Ryan Clark. I think he wears many hats. And
I would
he does
not
them all very
qualify it
well.
as dislike. I would qualify it as.
Is it the Pat McAfee thing? Like he
tries
does too
too
much?
hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think Pat McAfee tries too hard. And he's everywhere. And
it's surprising that Pat McAfee ain't up here on a number of these things. All right, just Tom Verducci, Kenny,
maybe because it's not that
Shaq,
good.
Ryan Clark, Nate Burleson. Stop it. Jay Billis. I love me some Jay Billis.
Jay Billis, great.
Nate Burleson's incredible. Shaq,
I would say Nate Burleson
Kenny
because
out,
of the Nickelodeon
Verducci.
stuff he does with Iron Eagle's son, Noah Eagle.
Of course,
that broadcast is really cool.
You're giving it to Charles, but if I'm not giving it to Charles, I'm giving it to Jay Billis.
That's fair. I would say I love the work Nate has done. I think Nate Burleson has been fantastic. And adding on to that again, I think you're doing this really cool concept with Nickelodeon, and he crushes it every time. He's a great studio host or studio analyst, but also a good studio host with CBS. He does everything. I've been really impressed with how good he's got.
Last one. And kids, if you're listening, you want to get involved, give us your thoughts. Thumbs up, thumbs down on any of these people, please, at Fox PHL Gambler. The Sports Emmys nominees for emerging on-air talent. Ooh.
Did I make the list?
Andrea Carter from ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
RG3 from ESPN.
Why is Eli Manning on?
Eli Manning, Greg Olson, and JJ Redick. I already know who I want to win.
Who do you want to win?
JJ. I think JJ's phenomenal.
I think I actually know who's going to win this.
Greg Olson.
Greg Olson's going to win this.
Yes.
He has gotten so good that there are people hoping that the greatest quarterback we've ever seen maybe play the game of football, one of the most notable athletes in all of sports, and I think that's including globally, even though football's not a global sport because he also was married to a global, huge, giant supermodel. And everybody is still wanting Greg Olson to be in that top chair.
Until they hear Tom Brady. Can we give him a shot?
We can, but yes, we can give him a shot.
Okay.
There's not many that are as good as Greg Olson. I mean, that is top notch.
I mean, I'm willing to give credit where it's due. He worked hard.
He was incredible.
But come on.
He became he's a tight end that became probably the best
flavor of the
emerging on it. Sure, he could be just like Tony Romo, but I think his staying power is going to last because he's a little bit more by the book than I would say than Romo. Romo's not, which is why I kind of like him.
Yeah,
because it's a little bit more open, fun. He has a great time, and also he still gives good analysis.
Yep.
But Greg Olson's by the book, and he does it very well.
Guess what?
You don't care.
No, I
Tom
care.
Brady. Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Sorry,
What
Holmes.
if Tom Brady sucks? What if Tom Brady's
move to the back of the
dry
bus?
as hell?
Move to the back of the bus.
I mean, Tom Brady's going to try stand-up comedy, and it's going to go just as bad as Joe
He's
Rogan
not
did.
trying
It's gonna be
stand-up comedy.
Yes, he is. He's going to try everything.
It's
Tom Brady's going to think that he's like this great personality, and like he can do all these things, but he just can throw a football really
It's
well.
Tom Brady versus Greg Olson. That's all you got to say.
Okay, cool. And right now, I think Greg Olson's a better studio analyst.
Daily Ticket. You got Jon Jansen. You got Sean Brace. Sean Barnard. He'll be winning sports Emmys, unlike us.
Oh, we're definitely not. If there's anybody on the Gambler that could be close to winning it, it's Barnard. Not us.
Who would you say? I would say Tansy, just from a written element, right? Like he's a hell of a writer.
I don't want to inflate Tansy's ego too much.
Yeah.
I know Bernard's ego.
No.
He doesn't have one. So
I would tell you Jason Finelli above all.
Oh, Jason's very good.
There you go.
After what I saw in PAX East, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That dude knows everyone, got me everywhere, and nobody know who I was.
I can only imagine what that scene
Everybody.
was like.
I walked through every developer that was at PAX East.
Yes.
Oh, Jason, how are you, bud?
Yes.
Knew everybody.
I can
That's
only
insane.
imagine what it was like going to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
And just like not too much BTS behind the scenes here, but like I got a code. I work at a website that doesn't really get a lot of review codes for like bigger games, and I was able to get one because I met people that Jason knew, and I was able to talk with them. Now I'm able to also get some of this stuff.
That's called networking.
Like it's incredible.
Nice job.
But that's Jason. I can't do that. If I went there by myself, I wouldn't have met anybody.
There you go.
I wouldn't have talked to anyone. I just would have been like, "Oh, thank you for trying. Let me try your game," and then I'd walk away. And Jason's just like, "Oh, having a big talk with him, and we'll do this afterwards. All this stuff. Like it's incredible."
Let me try your game. I like that. All right, Daily Ticket rolling on. We're going to talk NBA with Sean Barnard. We'll get on over to Major League Baseball in the 5 o'clock hour. Again, 15 games. I got some notes on every game. Well, most of them. There's like 3 or 4 duds. But we got some great pitching matchups, some really good as far as matchups just as teams are concerned, with expectations for this upcoming season. The Indians ended up finding a way to win last night. Oh, man, I did it.
The what?
The Guardians.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, am I
that
not allowed
was
to
easy.
say?
That was easy for me. No, it's just how do you get that wrong? I would say that's the easiest
they
one.
were the Cleveland Indians for 38 years of my life.
No, I don't know why some are harder for me than others. I still say San Diego Chargers all the time. I can't get that one. I can't get that one out of my brain.
I say Anaheim.
You know what's weird? Every time I call the Athletics Oakland Athletics, I feel like I'm saying it wrong. I'm like, wait, they're still in Oakland? Are you sure about that? I always think like, okay, I probably shouldn't be saying Oakland Athletics.
All right, this guy.
They still are in Oakland.
This guy he's got, look at this. This guy on CBS Sports has trophies all over the place. We got an Associated Press sports editor first place. Best breaking news.
What?
Gary Parrish. And he's got the
I've
under
heard the
40
name.
right there. Look at this. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Daily Ticket rolling on. Sean Barnard's going to join us on the other side. We're going to talk about things NBA.
Award-winning Sean Barnard.
Back after this.
The Gambler. Phillies home for all things sports gambling. Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Heads up, we've had a crash in South Jersey in Berlin, 73 southbound is blocked at Cooper Road. It's a crash involving an overturned vehicle. In Abington, watch for an accident, Easton Road at Rubicam Avenue. In Plymouth Township, a crash at Germantown Pike at Plymouth Road. Jam traffic on the Schuylkill, westbound University to Boulevard and City to Belmont. Eastbound, stop and go Montgomery Drive to South. The Vine Expressway, westbound Jan 95 to the Schuylkill. Eastbound tied up Schuylkill to Broad. 95 northbound Jan Gerard up the bridge. Southbound heavy cop in the bridge. And Ridley Park to the Commodore Barry. All right, to tell a total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Acme. Hey, it's me, Food. From when the pros at Acme hand me off to when I'm cleared from your plate, we go through a lot together. As long as you keep showing up, I'll keep showing up fresh. So let's make some memories, friend. See you in the aisles. Sincerely, Food. Sincerely, Acme.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Ricardo, quote, "This is one of the greatest inventions ever. I know this may sound like I'm exaggerating, but this sucker is amazing. The first time I did it, I couldn't believe what came out of my sinuses. I could breathe with ease. My wife just bought one too. Thank you for this product," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
It's the Marketer's Report. Today, Capital One's Chief Brand Officer, Mark Mentry, weighs in on building loyalty with customers.
Capital One has really worked to create amazing access moments for our customers. We will do sound check parties that only Capital One cardholders can get access to, and we can't pull that off without iHeart.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
CEOs you should know, brought to you by Comcast Business.
Roy Lightstein, CEO and president of Legacy Treatment Services. Legacy Treatment Services' mission is to change the behavioral health and social service outcomes for people of all ages from surviving to thrive. Legacy Treatment Services provides an array of more than 70 different programs and services to help individuals that have challenges with regard to mental health, addiction treatment, or perhaps that have an intellectual and developmental disability. Individuals in this field often have a calling. When I was growing up, I was the victim of abuse and neglect. I joined the Army and started my career in social services volunteering. I became very close with the young man that I was working with. Nonverbal, had a brain dysfunction. And so I had this sort of aha moment at that time that said, if I could help kids that maybe were struggling or had any challenges like I had, I wanted to commit my career towards helping that. The advice that I would give myself at age 15 is perspective. The sun comes up, the sun goes down, and when we're in those moments, stressing about your grade, your social relationship, I just wish I could look back to me at 15 and say, this is just today, and you can have a significant impact on what tomorrow's going to look like. We invite folks to just head to our website, legacytreatment.org, and you can reach somebody at any time of the day or night.
This episode is brought to you by Comcast Business. Every day in business is a big day. Comcast Business will keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Like any good agent, we're here for the open house, for the closing, for handing over keys. But because we're realtors, we're here for so much more. Agents who are realtors volunteer at nearly 3 times the national average. We're working to broaden access to credit, increase affordable housing supply, and ensure fair housing for all. And realtors are bound by a code of ethics. We're here for it all. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
We had games that we could have won. We had games that we should have won. We had some, things that didn't go our way. So to know where we are today, you can, be happy about that, but not satisfied.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Thumbs up, thumbs down, play in tournament, Jon Jansen.
I guess it's only an isolated case what Dallas pulled off, so I won't say this is maybe the norm. But as of right now, after what Dallas did, I'm a thumbs down. Teams just don't care.
No, I agree, but
they had a choice. They had, should we prioritize?
But they were
a top 10 pick.
Yep.
Obviously to protect it, or
because
prioritize the 10th seed.
Also, what else was involved in the deal that they made for Kyrie? So there was more to that situation.
But
than
that's
other
going to
teams
happen more often because those protected picks always happen, and those teams on the fridge of that 10th seed are always looking ahead to the draft, and they're probably also looking at protected picks. I'm not saying that's the norm and it's going to happen all the time, but when a team prioritizes something like that over the playoffs, and I that tells me that it's really not that important.
Did you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Thumbs down. Okay. I said thumbs down.
Sean Barnard on the Gambler Hotline. Sixers Insider covers all things NBA for us here on the Gambler. Sean _Barnard1. That's BAR, Barnard1. Sean, thumbs up, thumbs down play-in tournament.
Thumbs up on the play-in tournament. I've liked what it's brought. I've liked a little more competitiveness, especially for the teams. Like, you look at the Western Conference this year, like, all those team seedings were decided down to the last day of the tournament when you're looking at, like, the Warriors and Lakers kind of fighting for that 6th seed and everything in between. So I like that element of it, and I think it adds a little more from a competitive side in that kind of middle of the pack teams looking to avoid the play-in than necessarily, like, the bottom-tier teams. But overall, I've liked it.
All right, Sean, we have, of course, a few series already ready to go for the upcoming NBA playoffs, and one of them happens to be our Philadelphia 76ers as they open up shop round 1 versus the Brooklyn Nets on Saturday. I see that DraftKings already has a number out, 8-point spread, 216 is your total. We'll come back to that. We'll talk Sixers. We'll also talk about the other series that are happening as far as the NBA playoffs are concerned, because I can't wait for that Cavs Knicks series. But let's open up today's hit here with, of course, the playing games that we have this evening. And I think one of them will be better than, or one will be better than the other one. I don't think we're going to get 2 good games this evening. Curious to know your thoughts on that from just a sports fan's perspective. But I want to open up with the Hawks and Heat, and I think this one could get ugly. There's just a lot of nonsense right now with this Hawks team. So I get it. When we think about Trae Young, we think about the Atlanta Hawks. We think about this team, going on a little bit of a run 2 years ago, and of course, Trae Young lighting the world on fire. But that isn't the case this season. They're dealing with a lot of nonsense as far as firing the head coach. Quinn Snyder comes in here. Trae Young, people are talking about this could be his last time in a Hawks uniform, and he's got to go up against the team with the Miami Heat, where Spoelstra, he knows how to defend Trae Young, shut him down. I like the Heat, and I think the Heat roll this evening. Where do you stand on this game?
Yeah, I'm on the Heat as well here. It's kind of interesting. Obviously, 2 different conferences with the East and West in the 2 matches, but kind of a similar structure in terms of the one team kind of finding their stride towards the end of the season, that being the Heat and the Lakers, and the other team kind of blowing up and a lot of internal issues inside of them being their own worst enemies, and that is the Timberwolves and the Hawks. And for the Hawks specifically, I mean, Trae Young is doing his best to kind of fan the flames to these trade rumors. It's unfortunate the DeJounte Murray trade has really not worked as they planned. That was kind of their all-in move this past offseason. It's not working. But, yeah, it feels like the Heat have been playing much better basketball of late, shooting the ball much better. And, yeah, I think they're going to win pretty comfortably tonight.
Excellent. All right. And over to the nightcap with the T-Wolves and Lakers. And it's just a shame because I think the T-Wolves would put up a better fight if they had a full cast, but they don't have Jaden McDaniels for punching the wall, and Rudy Gobert is surprised that they suspended him for a playoff game. But I think what John and I were talking about to start the show, I don't think he's suspended if the team spoke up on his behalf saying, you know what, we want him here. I don't think he's liked inside that locker room, and I don't think they need him to win that game. I think that's the mentality inside that locker room. Of course, you're going to need a big performance from Karl Anthony Towns, number one. But as far as this game is concerned, 8.5-point spread, 233 is your total. I like the 8.5. I'm going to roll with the T-Wolves. They've had success against the Lakers this year. Again, they're a little short-handed here. How much of an impact will that be, in your opinion, not having Gobert and Jaden McDaniels this evening? And where do you stand on the game itself?
Yeah, the Jaden McDaniels loss is definitely a big deal. I think, assuming they would be at full strength, that is the guy who gets tasked with guarding LeBron James. He's had a terrific year defensively and improved on the offensive side of the ball. So super disappointing to see him out. I agree with the Rudy Gobert statement. I mean, the better you are, the longer your leash is. And he has not been a piece that has fit in the way that was hoped or imagined. Even looking at the game that he got thrown or sent home early from, he was a minus 14 in 13 minutes there. And there's a ton of metrics where they just look better with him off the court. So I definitely think that's a part of it as well. I'm pretty torn on this game as far as the number. I definitely feel comfortable about the Lakers winning. The 8.5 is a lot. So I'm leaning towards your side of giving the Timberwolves the edge to at least cover there. But yeah, I think the books are also afraid. It feels like everyone wants to get on this Lakers team. You can feel the hype building. They've got LeBron. They've got Anthony Davis. They've been the best team in the NBA since the All-Star break. But yeah, I do think it's going to be a Lakers win. And I do think the Timberwolves most likely cover, but I'm a little nervous about this one.
Yeah, I do want to ask you more about the Lakers because obviously, as you just said, there is a lot of hype. But is that hype warranted? And how do you think the Lakers perform in the playoffs?
Yes and no. So I'll start with, I definitely think they're the better team than the Timberwolves. I feel comfortable in them winning tonight. I think the pendulum has swung a little bit to where the hype might be a a little bit bigger than them. But with that being said, they have been the best team in basketball since the All-Star break, and that is with LeBron James only playing 11 games during that stretch. So there is a lot to like. Anthony Davis has been playing much better basketball. I still have the fear of just injuries and health catching up to him. AD, as great as he's been playing, you can see him grabbing his back, grabbing his knee. It feels like every game there's a tumble that just doesn't look quite right. And one of those, and that kind of ends the playoffs hopes there. But this team has looked so much better. The pieces fit better. Jared Vanderbilt's an awesome addition. He's going to be a real deal contributor in this playoff, throughout these playoffs. And yeah, the pieces have found a way to fit together since they kind of blew everything up and restarted the deadline. The West is so wide open that you definitely can't count them out, but I wouldn't say I'm as all in on them as everybody else seems to be.
Yeah, everyone really is talking themselves into a long run by the Lakers.
It just feels like the Nets of last year, even though that was a bit more of a disaster heading into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it feels like books are always kind of afraid to get hurt by those super teams or the fan favorites. The teams want to, get behind and bet on and have all that. The Lakers kind of fall into that category too, and they tend to have like that respect on the line aspect before they show it on the court.
Yeah, and look, I'm not here to downplay LeBron because even at his age, he is still one of the best players in the game. And if you really wanted to line up the top 5 players in the game, Giannis, Joel, of course, Joker, we got to include him into the conversation with all the MVPs he has. One-on-one, I still might take LeBron. We had the fun conversation. If you had the 5 players and you made a starting 5 out of 1 player, I still think LeBron as a full starting 5 of LeBron would give a lot of people some trouble. I'm going to go with Joel Embiid on that one. I think that's the correct answer. Anyways, could LeBron put this team on his back? Not getting a lot from Anthony Davis. And again, I know Anthony has been playing well, but could LeBron put this team on his back and lead this team to, let's say, a Western Conference final?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a chance of that. And part of the frustrations from early on in the season, specifically the first half when there was the whole Russell Westbrook situation and the pieces not fitting together, it was frustrating because he was playing at such a high level and the team around him just wasn't built to win or wasn't built to compete in the way that it was hoped. So it's been nice to see the pieces fitting together. And he's also pretty rested based on, he spent so much time recovering from injury the second half of the season. And that's not exactly rest for sure. He's obviously recovering, doing his thing. But in theory, he's got some life in the tires and be ready to go. And LeBron is still playing at an incredibly high level. And just based on how open the West is, you definitely can't count him out from dragging the team along with him.
Talking to Sean Barnard here, getting the update on all things NBA. 2 play-in games this evening. My favorite play out of the 2 games, Sean, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down on this one. Karl Anthony Towns going over 23.5 this evening. I just think as far as defensively for the Lakers, there's not really going to be anybody that can guard him. Anthony Davis is going to be out in the perimeter a lot. Karl Anthony Towns is going to get all the minutes. I just think Cat's going to go over that 23.5. Where do you stand on that play?
Yeah, I like that play as well. Karl Anthony Towns is a legitimate, real deal elite shooter. He's not just a good shooter for a big man. He's a good shooter, period. He's a guy that is completely comfortable spacing out, sitting in the corner, shooting from there. And yeah, he can knock him down. So I like that play as well. I like Anthony Edwards too. I would like to see them kind of fully give him the keys and have a chance to show what he can do as the primary option. They more or less have done that for stretches, but there's still periods of time where there's been some mismatched parts and he hasn't quite got the shine. So I'm a big Anthony Edwards fan. I think he's kind of the long-term piece that every decision should be made around in the long term. And I would like to see what he can do kind of going head-to-head with LeBron tonight.
Loved him coming out of college. Said I had no issues with him going number 1. I thought he was the number 1 overall player in that draft. And I just love his mentality right now. He is definitely box office. He's a reason to tune into the team.
Literally box office.
But I love his attitude about playing. He had a lot to say about that. Didn't hold back. So more Anthony Edwards, the better.
Wasn't he the one in that Adam Sandler movie?
I have yet to see Hustle.
Yeah, he was the one in there. And apparently he did really well.
I haven't seen Hustle.
So literally, when you say box office, yes.
Wait, Johnny Cinema, you haven't seen Hustle?
No, I'm not going to watch Hustle.
Are you kidding
I'm not
me?
gonna watch
You're
Hustle.
supposed to be our movie guy.
I know. I'm not going to watch Hustle.
You haven't seen Hustle?
I will not watch Hustle.
You're our movie guy, and you haven't seen Hustle.
That's great. I'm not going to like it. I already know it.
Sean Barnard, have you seen Hustle?
Of course. He's a basketball
absolutely.
guy. Yeah.
Absolutely. And he was awesome in it. There's a ton of it. They really show off the Sixers organization in it too, which I was impressed by. So yeah, that's definitely worth a watch. And all the players acted pretty well in it too. Anthony Edwards for sure stole the show though.
Sean Barnard kept that. I think he's going to be our movie guy. Sean, when's the last movie you saw?
Oh, come on, man.
Oof, last movie.
Hustle.
Yeah.
Actually, The Hangover was the last movie I've watched right now. So nothing crazy, not a hard-hitting take there.
There you go. All right, Sean Barnard. I love it.
Do I get my movie title back? Movie guy title
Yes,
back?
you do.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
yes. Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's talk a big picture here before we get into the Sixers. Could you explain to me why the number one team in the West have 5 teams in front of them as far as championship odds are concerned? The number one team in the West, the Denver Nuggets, are 6th on the list for championship contenders as far as odds on favorite. Bucks, number 1. Celtics plus 320. Bucks are plus 265. Suns plus 425. Sixers 9-1. Warriors plus 950. Denver Nuggets 11-1. Sean Barnard, the odds makers are telling me all I need to know about the Denver Nuggets, I believe. Should we be following the odds makers here, though? Your thoughts on them being the 6th favorite when it comes to winning it all this year?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot made about, Philadelphia fans kicking and screaming about the defense of Nikola Jokic, but this is kind of evidence of it in the postseason. I really do believe that as a center, to have success in the postseason, you either have to be a high-level rim protector or able to switch out on the perimeter and guard guards, and Nikola Jokic can do neither. So when you are the engine of an offense, the engine of the team in the way he is, and have to get taken out for big play possessions and big defensive possessions, which has been the case with him when they went on that bubble run. It was the case for him last year when they lost to the Warriors in the opening round. They had to take him off the floor for big defensive possessions. So that's a problem when so much of their offense is built around him. So I do think that is kind of where the issue comes in. There's also a bunch of disrespect on the Sacramento Kings. I mean, for the phenomenal year that they had, the Warriors are significant favorites in the first round. And I understand it because they've got the pedigree. But yeah, it does feel like the West is wide open. And I don't have an issue with the Nuggets being devalued there.
All right. Well, I wanted to get to the Sixers, but we'll go ahead and check in with the series prices for the West first. Let's talk about that Kings and Warriors series. Now, I am a guy that has a future on the Warriors. I think it's 20-1, something along those lines. A couple months ago, I took a shot at them when Steph got hurt. I saw value there at that point in time. The Warriors are minus 290 to win the series. And how about for game 1? The Warriors are only 1-point favorites, minus 110 as far as the money line is concerned. Something is not connecting there. When you look at those two teams in that matchup, knowing what we know about the Sacramento Kings this year, and of course, the pedigree that the Warriors bring to the table, what are your thoughts on that series?
Yeah, I've been a Kings believer this year. I think they're a real deal, legitimate, very good basketball team. I don't think they are a fluke by any means, but the Warriors are still the Golden State Warriors. They're the defending champions. They've done it 4 times in the past 8 years. They just got Andrew Wiggins back. There's a lot to like. This is going to be a very fun series to watch. 2 just electric offenses and extremely talented. There's going to be more dribble handoffs in this series than probably any series in NBA history. So there's going to be a ton of fun stuff, off-ball movement, some creative things being done. I wish I could be sticking up for my Kings and think they're going to win. I do think the Warriors find a way to pull it out. They seem to be getting locked in, getting all the pieces together, and they kind of have earned the benefit of the doubt at this point that they don't really need to do it through the regular season. It's been a strange season for them, just how all over the place things have been. Andrew Wiggins, the leave of absence, Steph Curry injured, everything else in between, starting off the season with Draymond and punching Jordan Poole. So there's been a ton going on. But yeah, I mean, you can't count them out. They have the pieces. They have the talent. They've done it before. And I think there's plenty of reason to believe the Warriors find a way to get through this series. I would not be heartbroken if I'm wrong and the Kings do get it done, though.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, even with the future on the Warriors. Now, we often talk about value being the number one word that we want to find out there in sports gambling. And I do believe that there's a ton of value on the purple squad, Sacramento. First of all, they got home court advantage. We know how bad the Kings are on the road. I don't know if that carries over into the playoffs because I think this team the mentality is nothing but winning a championship. So now we were joking, Sean, we were joking a little earlier, John and I, saying the NBA season starts now. Well, it really does for the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, we just had
that.
an 82-game preseason.
Exactly. But there's a ton of value on the Sacramento Kings. So maybe you might not be the right guy to ask because you have been a Kings backer, a Kings believer. And so your bias might come in. But as far as, thinking this team has a real shot at beating the Golden State Warriors, give it to me. Give me the percentage, 60, 40, 55, 45. Where do you stand on it?
Yeah, I'm going to go probably 60-40. I think the Warriors win it. I do think this is going to be, I think there's a pretty strong chance this goes 7 series. There are 7 games series and that this is going to be one of the more fun matches to watch. I mean, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis are both most likely going to end up on all NBA teams this year, and they've had phenomenal seasons. De'Aaron Fox leads the NBA in clutch points by a pretty significant margin. These are real deal, legitimate, like good players and a good team. Kevin Huerter's looked like the third Splash brother all season, and they've got guys. So I do like this Sacramento Kings team. I think this is going to be a fight. So I wouldn't count out either. I'm excited to watch it, and I think there's value on either one of these teams. Unfortunately, whoever can get by this, I think has a solid chance at getting by the Grizzlies.
Okay. And I have a future on the Grizzlies too, so that's not good. Just to let you know, on DraftKings right now, 7 games, series exact games, plus 240 for the Sacramento Kings and Golden State Warriors. If it goes to 7, plus 240, nice number there, plus 180 for 6, 5 games, plus 280 for a straight up sweep, plus 450. All right, staying with the series props, the series as far as prices are concerned here. There we are. So much to choose from on DraftKings Sportsbook. Let's bring it over to the east side. Let's talk about the Sixers and the Brooklyn Nets. Minus 900 for the 76ers versus the Brooklyn Nets. Series gets started on Saturday. Sixers are 8-point favorites. Anything to worry about from Brooklyn's perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say the Sixers match up particularly well in this matchup. The Nets are obviously lack on top-end talent. They kind of blew things up mid-year for that to be the case, but they have a ton of just versatile, switchable wings, which do give the Sixers trouble. I just don't think they have enough talent to make up for it, but I do think the Sixers will probably drop a game. It does make me a little nervous how confident everyone seems to be in the Sixers, especially the books, too. I do think the Sixers are a team that does better when there is a little bit of doubt on the table or need to prove it wrong, which will be the case come second round, assuming they cruise through here. So I don't think it's going to be as easy as everyone's making it out to be, but I don't think the Sixers will have any trouble getting through this.
All right, on to the next one. Let's talk about the Cavs and Knicks staying in the East.
Best first round series? I'll start with that.
Absolutely.
I think so.
It's got to be. I would Sacramento and Golden State's going to be good. I know Sean feels the same
way.
A
lot
way
of points.
there.
If you love scoring, that's the one.
But,
a lot of points.
But this could go either way. And I would love to see the Knicks get knocked out in the first round. But, and I'm always up front with this, the NBA is better when the Knicks and Lakers are good. And here we are. So if the Knicks advance, it's going to raise it up a little bit. Temperature's going to rise a little bit in the playoffs. Here is the series price. You can get the Cavs at minus 200, Knicks plus 160. And for game 1 on Saturday at 6 p.m., the Cavs are 6-point home favorites. Where do you stand on this series?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a fun one too. I agree. Looking at the Western Conference with the Warriors and Kings, that's the team for kind of an offensive show, if that's what you're looking for. This Knicks and Cavs matchup can be more of a defensive showdown, slower pace, and these are both pretty complete teams. The Knicks have been very fun to watch this year. Jalen Brunson has been unbelievable, and a guy that continues to exceed expectations all the way through the NBA. He's kind of embraced that center stage role and really stepped up for the Knicks. He's been terrific. A contract that was knocked when it was first handed out and is now looking like an underpay. So happy for that. I do think the Cavs find a way to come out on top just with Donovan Mitchell being the best player on the floor and stepping up to that moment. He's been terrific this year as well. That's looking like a great move by Cleveland. And just the size of Cleveland, the way their front court can swallow up guys. When we're talking about Evan Mobley, who's terrific defensively, Jarrett Allen, who can make an impact, and all the other just big bodies and limbs that they managed to throw out there. So I think this is going to be a fun series. I think this one's going to be a battle too. I still do think the Cavs find a way to get it done.
All right, final series that we have here on DraftKings Sportsbook, Suns and Clippers. Phoenix Suns minus 600. The Clippers 4-1 here. I think there's value there with the Clips, of course. I think the Clips could beat the Phoenix Suns. Where do you stand in this series?
Yeah, this is a strange series. These are two kind of theoretical teams, I would call them, because everyone seems bought in, and this is another example of the super teams and everyone believing the Suns with Kevin Durant. They haven't lost with Kevin Durant on the floor yet, but we haven't seen it for very long, and it's tough to build that kind of chemistry in such a small period of time with all the injuries that he's battled, the trade happening midseason. So I'm not as in on the Suns as a ton of people are. I like this Clippers team, but they're also kind of all over the place, and we haven't seen Paul George is not going to be around for this series, which is a big deal, and why I think the Suns will find a way to get through. But I do think the Clippers will win at least a game or two, make it interesting, and I don't think the Suns are going to run away with it by any means. If Paul George was there, I would seriously consider going all in on the Clippers, though.
All right. Sean Bernard, you can find him at Sean_Bernard1, and he does not have a MVP ballot or a vote, but I'm sure he would vote for Joel Embiid. What's your take right now looking down at all the nonsense that's on the timeline A lot of people are coming out with their vote, including I saw the Ringer with Russillo and Bill Simmons. Thank you. Said both Joel Embiid. It looks like he's going to win it. I'm shocked.
Yeah, he's going to win.
Joel Embiid's going to win the MVP. Correct, Sean?
Yeah, it definitely looks that way. He just won the Eastern Conference Player of the Month for the third time this season. 3 in 5 months is pretty special stuff there. He's been terrific all year. He deserves it. I've been a little surprised too. I don't know what I was expecting with the ballots, but it hasn't been as I wasn't expecting it to be as dominant or as runaway as it looks like with Joel in the voting. So I hope that keeps up. He definitely deserves it. I hope that is the case. And I'm still kind of have a cautious optimism around it, that it feels like people are looking for every excuse not to give it to him. But the fact is that the Ringer people are voting for him, I think is a strong indication, because those are the Jokic backers and the all-around kind of analytics guys. So happy to see that kind of swaying the other way.
They are also known as the unserious anti-greatness NBA deep state. That's what they are. Shout out to our good friend Drew Smith over there.
But it's a long title.
Yeah, they are now on board. And I did see that, unfortunately, JJ Redick, who I just gave a thumbs up to a little earlier, now he gets a major thumbs down. He voted Giannis over Joel Embiid. Look, if you want to give it to Giannis, I'm fine with that. I just can't get down with Joker. I just can't get down with Joker. You give it to Giannis, I got no problems, no issues. But when you vote Joker for the third straight year over Joel Embiid, Joel should have won it last year. He definitely deserves it this year. I think Giannis is kind of in that, I know, lack of a better term, LeBron, mold where he can win it every year. And I know he said as much as well, but I was surprised to see JJ Redick vote Giannis. I thought that was surprising. But anyways, we'll see how it works.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. And I definitely would prefer Giannis than Joker if it's coming down to those two. Embiid, obviously, I do believe deserves it and should get it number one. I will also point out that for all the people tossing out the Joel not playing enough games or missing time, Joel's played 5 more games than Giannis this year, so that should not go unnoticed. And also JJ Redick, in his kind of spiel about why he's not giving it to Joel, brought up all these second-round exits as if he was not a part of them on that team for a period of time, which did frustrate me as well.
Okay, so hopefully he has that same notion against Jokic, right? Please tell me he said that about him too. Okay.
He didn't go into it as detail with Jokic, and Jokic does have the bubble run that he did go to the finals. But yeah, I don't. It is frustrating to me, just the fact that JJ was literally on the court for those and still kind of criticizing Joel. Not the best look, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's odd. It's odd. Why go into past performances about this year's MVP? But oh well, we'll move on. Sean Bernard, you are the man. Great stuff. We'll continue to follow you at Sean_Bernard1. We'll be checking back in with you tomorrow, as we got, of course, the playing games. 2 big ones going down tomorrow. Big series involving everybody else getting started immediately after that. So much NBA in front of us, and can't wait to break it down with you over the next few weeks. Sean, thank you very much. Good luck on your plays, and we'll catch up tomorrow, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys, and I'll talk soon for sure.
Boom. There he is. Sean Bernard on the Gambling Hotline. 5 o'clock hour coming up on the other side. And guess what, kiddies? Jared Smith's going to join us at the top of the hour. We'll get his thoughts on all things NBA playoffs, the playing games, the 2 that we have this evening. Maybe mix in a little bit about the 2 tomorrow with the Bulls and Raptors, Thunder and Pelicans as well. But I know we're going to talk some baseball with Jared, as he is.
Let's do it. Let's talk some baseball.
He's big on the Yerfy and the Nerfy. Now, if you're new to the game, Nerfy, no run in the first inning. Yerfy, yes run in the first inning. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, basically over the last 2 years, Nerfy has dominated. Nerfy is the play. No run in the first inning. Not hard. You get 6 outs. Pitchers are hot. They come in. Batters are, cold, getting their first cracks. Nerfy has been the dominant play over the past 2 seasons. We'll find out exactly the percentages from Jared. But this year, not so fast, my friend, as Lee Corso would say. Yerfies have been dominating in a big way. So Jared Smith from Fox Sports Radio, VSiN, he does it all. He's going to join us on the other side. It's the Daily Ticket. Brace Jon Jansen, back after this.
From tee to green, the best place to go to get in on all the action happening on the links is DraftKings Sportsbook. This week, new customers will receive an odds boost to add plus 1,000 to any pre-tournament wager up to $10 on any golfer to win. So, for example, if you're a new customer and you see a golfer to win the tournament at plus 1,000 odds, DraftKings will boost that golfer to plus 2,000 odds for your shot at a bigger payout. DraftKings will be featuring parlays and odds boosts all tournament long, so be sure to check the DraftKings Sportsbook app every day before the tournament starts to see what they have in store. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use promo code DING, D-I-N-G, and boost your odds during this weekend's tournament. That's code DING only on DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only. Odds boost token expires 7 days after issuance. Minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/golf terms. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
In this week's Marketers Report, Patrizio Spagnoletto, Global Chief Marketing Officer, Direct-to-Consumer for Warner Brothers Discovery, weighs in on building trust.
Trust is a really hard thing to build and a really easy thing to destroy, and we have to be very respectful about that. Our partnership with iHeart has really helped us build that trust and that relationship with the on-air talent.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, conversations, trusted influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. Go to iHeartResults.com for more.
Hey, Sean Brace here for the Amateur Golf Society. Now, if you're like me, you're always dreaming of the green, but your schedule is pretty packed. With the all-new AGS Tour presented by the Golf Association of Philadelphia, it's easy to play competitive golf on your schedule. Become a member today and get access to advanced tee times, private courses, and dozens of perks from AGS Tour sponsors and partners. With net play in 4 divisions, plus women's and senior flights, golfers of all skill levels can enhance their game and experience. Join the all-new AGS Tour today. Go to amateurgolfsociety.com.
Hear new music first on your free iHeartRadio app.
Hey y'all, this is Måneskin.
Hey, what's up? This is Fall Out Boy.
What's up? This is Mark Hoppus from Blink-182. It's iHeartRadio.
Playing now on your completely free iHeartRadio app, where the biggest stars in the world connect with you.
Dr. Rick here. With another telltale sign you're turning into your parents, getting particular about your drive-thru order.
Don't pull away yet. I like to check the bag because one time they forgot to give me extra ketchup.
People are waiting.
I'm only seeing 4 nuggets. Wait, nope, there's 5.
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Summit Racing has parts and accessories to keep your truck rolling right. Parts like lift kits, intakes, exhaust, tires, lighting, and more. From custom grills to tonneau covers, Summit Racing has you covered. SummitRacing.com. Everything you need for anything you drive.
I'm meteorologist Karen Rogers with your 6ABC weather update. We've got a beautiful afternoon, lots of sunshine mixing with the high clouds this afternoon. You are going to notice a breeze at times gusting to 25 miles an hour, but a warm high of 74 degrees. You'll be in the mid to upper 60s along the coastline. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. It's breezy and mild. We drop down just to 55, so feels good when you wake up tomorrow. And the afternoon high is 80 degrees with partly to mostly sunny skies.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
Dell Technologies provides growing businesses with tools to do incredible things because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Gorgeous day outside, and apparently everyone wants to sit in traffic because there's a lot of volume. We're Jan on the Vine Expressway westbound. 95 out to the Schuylkill merge in the westbound Schuylkill. That's packed. University to Boulevard and Boulevard to Belmont. Also so glad with the Conshohocken and Gulf Mills at 202. Eastbound so at 202. Blue Route to Belmont and Jan Boulevard to South. Blue Route southbound, that's Jan St. David's and Media Swarthmore and northbound 95 past McDade. 95 northbound Jan Vine Expressway up to Bridge and southbound Jan Cotman to Bridge. Larry Tutela, total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick and mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Ricardo, quote, "This is one of the greatest inventions ever. I know this may sound like I'm exaggerating, but this sucker is amazing. The first time I did it, I couldn't believe what came out of my sinuses. I could breathe with ease. My wife just bought one too. Thank you for this product," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage egg croissant plus small seasoned potatoes for $3. It's the breakfast that don't miss. So if you did miss Wendy's breakfast, don't imagine. Fresh cracked eggs, sizzling sausage, crispy bacon, and block out those hot, buttery, flaky croissants. Croissants don't really make a sound, but if they did, for a breakfast that don't miss, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Select a request $3 breakfast deal to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combo orders.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns. Here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, trunk lids, license plate holders, and headlights. They've got lots of headlights. When you need parts, get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. eBay Motors. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Your home for Villanova basketball is WDAS and WD27 3D. Fox Sports Radio Philadelphia.
Daily Ticket. 5 o'clock hour underway. You got Sean Brace. You got Jon Jansen. You got the power of love.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You know, I saw Huey Lewis play and the News play.
I was about to say, was it just Huey Lewis? Did he not tour at the News? Did he break up with the News?
Man, that was awesome. They crushed it. It was
okay.
It was at Caesars and AC.
Oh, nice. I got a concert that we got to go to. At Hard Rock.
Oh, who is it?
Tears for Fears. I haven't seen them yet, and they're like one of my favorites.
Tears for Fears is coming to the Hard Rock.
Yeah.
You got a date on that?
Maybe sometime in August, I think.
Okay, I can do it. You're
not going to do it.
I would definitely
definitely
do Tears for Fears, man. Would definitely do Tears for Fears.
Do we still have a good hookup there at Hard Rock or no?
Yeah, we can make it happen. Matter of fact, Gerald Colin just texted me. I got to hit him back. All right, let's head out to the Gambler Hotline, and we're going to talk to our good friend Jared Smith, who you can hear every Saturday on Fox Sports Radio. He's on VSiN as well. He is out there in the city of sin, Las Vegas. Nobody better when it comes to the world of sports gambling. And lucky for us, we got a few games that we need to discuss this evening and tomorrow with the play-in. And what's taking the world by storm, the Nerfy, or dare I say the Yerfy, Jared Smith. The Yerfy seems to be dominating this early part of the MLB year. Are you surprised by that?
No, and I agree, guys. I think it's hopping because the offenses are hopping. And I don't know when it's going to change. My guess is whenever they decide to swap out the balls, right? Because I think now. I mean, I say that tongue in cheek, but there is data to support that the balls have been a little more aggressive with some of the exit velocities, and that makes sense narrative wise. The same thing happened last year. The ball started hot. They want to get offenses going early. They want to get people excited about the game, and then once we get to the dog days of summer, they kind of swap them out, and then all of a sudden, back in September, October, it swaps back again. But I would say the rules have a slight impact on it as well. The one thing I've noticed, actually, I was crunching. I haven't tweeted this out yet. I was going to tweet this out tomorrow because I wanted another few days of data, but it looks like older pitchers are really struggling. Pitchers above the age of 34 have like an ERA of like 1 run higher than pitchers under the age of 34. And that makes sense, right? First of all, their stuff's going away, but also if you're accelerating their pitch clock, maybe they're a little more panicked. They're a little more used to the older rules, whereas the younger guys are used to these pitch clocks coming up through the minors. So I think it's just the transitionary period to a new season, and things will settle in eventually.
Interesting. So if they're taking on the Mets, we need to take a Yurfie then, because it seems like every pitcher that they have in that rotation is above the age of 35. So maybe that's
that's probably a decent bet. I actually think the Phillies tonight might be in Nerfy territory because Luzardo's been great, and they scored a bunch of runs yesterday. And I love doing a Nerf the day after a team where they scored 15 runs yesterday on one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe Nerfy for the Phillies. And the Phillies have actually been a pretty strong, one of the few teams that have actually been a strong Nerfy candidate this year, especially at home. So keep an eye on that Phillies lineup. But for the most part, I would say Luzardo and Nola might be Nerfy category today.
interesting. All right. Yeah. I mean, Nola has had 2 suspect starts. I think he's going to have a much better start this evening. Nice weather down there at Citizens Bank Park. So I could get behind you as far as the
Yeah, and
Nerfy.
if I'm not mistaken, I think the Phillies are not doing too well against left-handed pitching as well.
So the first inning, no runs is plus 115. Let's see here.
Really? That's
Oh no, it's other way around. I'm sorry. Over is 0.5 plus 115, under 0.5 minus 150. I'm sorry.
Minus 150. Wow. So I got minus 120 this morning.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know if I would bet 50. Now, granted, certain books split these very differently.
Yep.
I would say DraftKings is one of the more unfavorable Nerfy books because it's one of the more popular shops, and this is one of the more popular bets, and they do tend to shade those lines. And frankly, the splits aren't as fair at some other shops, but that's why you always, shop around. But for reference sake, the average Nerfy price, according to the book that I track at, which is an offshore book, which I think is one of the fairest shops out there, is 113 this year. That's the average Nerfy price, minus 113. So if you're spending minus 140, minus 150 on a daily basis betting Nerfies, again, the juice eventually will come and bite you. So that's another thing with these bets, because they're becoming so popular, because they're derivative bets. It's hard to find good prices, and you have to be really price sensitive when you're betting these. I know you want to bet, but betting a minus 150 on a game that's probably better priced than the minus 120, minus 115 range, over time, it's not going to be something that's going to be favorable for you.
Yeah. As far as offenses are concerned, staying with the Yurfie and Nerfy, what's an offense, or who's an offense in major leagues right now that just is lighting the world on fire? And maybe we need to view it again. Each game is different. Each number is different. Bet the numbers. I get that. But an offense that is ripping it up in your mind, and maybe whether or not it's a Yurfie or just an over as far as team total, or an over on the game. What's an offense that's really jumping off the page at you?
Well, this isn't going to sound surprising at all, but the Dodgers, the Mariners, and the Yankees have the highest run scoring percentages in the first inning so far this year. And again, that doesn't surprise you, right? I would say those are probably the 3 most exciting offenses in baseball this year, at least right now. In terms of the ones to fade, the Giants, the Brewers, and again, the Phillies have really struggled. They've only scored 2 times in 10 games in the first inning this year. So overall, their offense isn't bad, but I think early in the season, a lot of veterans, and again, not a lot of guys starting the season hot. So it's always funny. Baseball's the one sport where I'm actually willing to quote unquote catch the falling knife. Like if I see a team that has scored 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a row in the first inning, I'm willing to fade that team and bet against them scoring in an inning, because it's just these bets, and this season, because of how long it is, it does tend to even out. And when the price moves, I'm much more interested in betting a good price than I am necessarily a good team, especially at this stage of the year, because I do think the prices even out. So if you're just really consistent with your approach, and it's hard, listen, it is really hard to be consistent betting baseball, because you go through a stretch where you lose 3 or 4 days in a row and you go on tilt. But the reality is, how many MVP candidates, like how many times last year did Aaron Judge go 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 at the plate? So you just have to, treat it as what it is, which is one game of 162 is less than 1% of the season. Whereas for the NFL, one game is like 7%, 6% of the season. So it's just a completely different mindset when you're betting baseball, and you have to be willing to go against the grain.
Yeah, and that is why I told Jon Jansen to calm down after the team lost a couple games to start the season. I was just like, dude, they play one season.
Yeah, you were the one who said that, right?
Yeah, I was the one that was saying calm down.
Yep.
You can't even take anything seriously with baseball results until like Memorial Day, even like mid to late June. As long as your team is within 5 to 10 games by July 4th, you are in the mix. And the way that the playoffs are structured now with the wild card being, extra wild card teams, it's really hard for these teams that have really deep rosters like the Phillies to not be in contention in July. Like, you have to put together 2 or 3 really terrible months for you to not be in contention come July, August.
Let's talk about the hottest team in baseball, and that's the Tampa Bay Rays.
Wow.
With 10 wins, that's a team that's clubbing the hell out of the ball. I believe they're a plus 53 as far as run differential right now, which is off the charts. But everybody's making a big deal, and rightfully so, about who they are beating or who they have beat.
Yeah, it's not good.
But what do you mean it's not good?
They're 3 of the worst teams in baseball.
Yeah, the Athletics, the Nationals, and the Tigers.
So should we give them credit? Should we be even kill about this?
It's good to start 10-0, and 10-0 is incredible. But yeah, I think we can obviously factor that in, that they played. I think the 2 worst teams in baseball to me are the Nationals and the Athletics, and the Tigers are not far away from those 2.
True. Well,
and the Red Sox are no world beaters either.
No.
Played a good game last night, but it was 1-0. It's not like they, obviously their pitching's really solid, but they didn't blow out the Red Sox last night. I would be very cautious to be shoving chips into the middle on the Rays to win the World Series or any of these futures bets that, you see the price move a little bit and you get panicked. They're going to have an 0-5, 0-4 stretch at some point, and I'm sure the price will. Water always finds its level with the baseball season, so definitely not getting overly excited. I mean, it's great for the Rays. Obviously, you want to be 10-0 and not 0-10, but any conclusions that we're drawing based on their season, I wouldn't change them based off the first 10 games. I think they're still a solid team. They're a playoff team. They've been a playoff team for the last few years, and their rotation's fantastic. Can their offense continue to slide? I mean, they just won back-to-back games of 11-0. That's not a sustainable style. And I would imagine that their offense does kind of drift back to the pack. But when they get Tyler Glasnow back, and their rotation is Glasnow and McClanahan, and they've got a couple of other arms at the top that are really solid, that is a really, really tough rotation, and they're going to be a tough out in a 5-game series. Jeffrey Springs, the other one that I'm not thinking of, he's a lefty that's really, really had a good start. And he's a good nerfy pitcher too. I mean, that's a really good top 3, McClanahan, Glasnow, Springs. Those are 3 guys that can win you a playoff series, no doubt.
All right. Once again, we got the Rays and the Sox going head-to-head this evening. Whitlock and McClanahan. Whitlock hasn't pitched since last September. Still pretty good. And McClanahan, of course, we know how good he is. Rays, we know that the books are going to shade their way. Minus 180. Big-time favorites here. Plus 155 for the Sox. 7.5 is your total. That game is going up at 640. Just to let everybody know, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I read this earlier today, 13-0 is the record to start a season undefeated, and that was the Brewers back in 87. I want to say that that's the record. Hopefully that is correct. I just put it out on there. How about it? Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. The National League Milwaukee Brewers. Wait. No, the American League Milwaukee Brewers. Yeah. Because they're in the National League. Yeah, I got crossed up there.
Well done, Sean.
Nice work there, Brace. All right, let's keep it moving. Anything else from Major League Baseball this evening that caught your attention? I love the Dodgers tonight. Of course, taking on the Giants. They got their way last night. I think we're going to see more of that this evening. Anything jumping off of you as far as
I'll just say some of these money lines are unbelievably high today.
And
Good Lord.
And as far as
Texas minus 292, the Angels minus 320, Atlanta minus 235, Toronto minus 285, and obviously Tampa Bay and Houston minus 178. I mean, there are some aggressive money lines.
Seem pretty trappy today.
Yeah.
I would say Michaelis's numbers have been really poor at Coors Field. I bet the Yurfee there, and I don't like betting the Yurfee at Coors Field because it's usually priced to high heaven, but of all the Yurfies that are cashing, can you believe the Rockies in 5 games have not scored a run in the first inning at Coors Field?
Wow.
The Nerfy at Coors is 4-1 Last year, it was like 40%. So expect some yes-run first innings at Coors Field pretty soon. I think tonight with Michaelis, a pretty good bet, and I would probably fade Michaelis tonight. Maybe that's an over game, even though those numbers are really high. It seems like Colorado's due for a breakout game. Ohtani's on the mound tonight, so everybody is betting the Angels. Literally everybody. I probably would stay away from that one. I never know what to make of the Angels when Ohtani's pitching. I really struggle to handicap him as a pitcher because I feel like his good starts are the best and his bad starts are really bad, and there's really no in between with him because of just the type of player that he is. Also, Corbin Burns gotten off to a really tough start too with the Brewers, which isn't surprising because he's dealing with some contract stuff prior to the season. He had a embroiled battle with arbitration with Milwaukee, and I would imagine he's going to get traded at some point. Although the Brewers have had a hot start to the season, he's on the road tonight against Arizona, and Arizona's offense has been humming, and they are actually one of the toughest offenses to face because they just steal bags like at every turn. Like they are stealing bases at an alarming rate, and the rules are helping with that. But also Arizona just has a lineup that's conducive to stolen bases. I don't know how Burns' numbers are against steals this year, but look to Arizona's offense has been humming. They've been a good Yerfie team too early in the year, so maybe that's an interesting underdog play tonight with Burns on the mound, fading the steam there.
Yeah, and Burns hasn't been off into a great start. I think he's got 6 total strikeouts in 2 outings, and his prop was like 6.5 in both of those games, and only came away with 3 strikeouts in a piece.
I would go under on his props today, under on his outs prop too. It's hard when you're dealing with this new situation, and Arizona is such a tough team to face because they put a lot of pressure on you. It makes you work a little harder, and I think the veteran pitchers, and Burns I know is young, but he's still a veteran guy. They're the ones that are struggling the most with these new rules. So I always look to fade guys that are kind of entrenched with their position and maybe have some mental stuff going on behind the scenes if you can.
All right, Jared Lee Smith on socials. Let's switch gears and get on over to the association. We got 2 playing games this evening. Do either one of these tickle you a little bit to fire and place a wager or 2 on?
Well, you would imagine the Lakers are going to win. Am I comfortable laying 9 points in a game where literally everyone's betting them? No, but the Timberwolves situation is bizarre to say the least. The McDaniel stuff is it reminds me of Amari Stoudemire back in the day with the Knicks when he broke through the fire extinguisher or the fire emergency glass thing in the playoff series against the Heat, and all of a sudden that series went off the rails. And then the other game, I mean, talk about drop. Now, the NBA is doing this on purpose. I don't know to get excited for these playing games, but the Trae Young stuff breaking today is just bizarre. The day before they're about to go to Miami and play, or the day of that they're playing Miami in a playoff game, you get news that they want to trade their star. And maybe that's been brewing in the news for a while. And today it just kind of got bubbled over because they're playing and there was, more media attention on them. But I think both of those 2 road teams will have a tough time tonight with all the distractions and with all the negative stuff swirling around their respective teams. So I don't know, you want to parlay both home teams, just for a little nibble here, but hey, me, Sean, I don't give out picks unless I feel like I've properly capped these games, and I haven't capped the NBA a whole lot this year. But now that we're getting into the playoffs, I will start to pay attention a little more. Things tighten up. The lines get sharper, but I think the matchups get more pronounced, and you can find advantages if you can kind of think ahead where the adjustments are going to come, and you can get some prop numbers that maybe are favorable. But I would be shocked if the home teams don't win tonight based off the distractions that the road teams are facing.
All right. As far as the series prices that came out, did anything catch your attention as far as those are concerned? We got 4 listed: the New York Knicks and the Cleveland Cavs. I think there's some value on the Knicks there. We love that V word. I think there's a lot of value on the Sacramento Kings, right? And if you're a Kings backer, there is plenty of money to be made. I don't know how easy it's going to be to get by the Warriors, but we'll see. And the Clippers as well. I know Kevin Durant and Phoenix Suns, look, they look untouchable, but I don't think they're Teflon, and there's a lot of money on the flip side if you believe the Clippers. Anything there? Let's start with the dogs. Anything there or any dogs barking for you?
I'll take the Knicks plus 1.5 games. So my strategy with NBA early round postseason, because especially now that I'm at this point in my career where I don't handicap the regular season a ton, and I'm kind of coming in blind to not blind, but I don't have as much foundational information and foundational knowledge about these teams coming into the postseason. I do like to handicap the series spreads. I think that's where you find the most value, especially with the teams that you think have a chance to compete, the underdogs that maybe are underdogs in the series, because you get less volatility than game-to-game betting. A team could win and not cover the spread, whereas the series spread, you don't have to worry about that, especially if you're betting on, again, favorites or underdogs. And they're, like, for instance, when the Knicks go back home for the middle games of those series, I would assume they're going to be favored in those games. And I don't want to even have to worry about the spread, because it's the underdog in the series. So I think that's going to be a really tight series back and forth. I think those teams are very evenly matched. I could see the Knicks stealing a game in Cleveland and vice versa. And I could see that being a 7-game series. So plus 1.5 games on the series spread looks really fat there. For the other series, I mean, I think the market's telling you that Golden State's winning that series by a significant amount. But the Kings have been really feisty this year. The question is, now that the stakes get raised, are they able to elevate their game to a championship level, which the Warriors are? Maybe it's not as talented of a championship level as they had last year, but there's still a defending chance. And I find it hard to believe, with the market being so obvious that Golden State is going to win that series, that it's hard for me to kind of bet into that and I'm taking 1.5 games to the Kings at plus 135. Maybe you can make worse bets. But I have a feeling Golden State's gonna do their thing and advance.
Yeah. As far as any futures, you holding any futures from the NBA? I know you said you didn't really bet on it as far as regular season is concerned. Anything in the future department for you?
Absolutely nothing. I've been boring this year with the NBA. I wish I had more excitement with the NBA now that the postseason's here, but just the way that, and it's actually funny because I retweeted this morning from Todd Furman, who's a friend of mine, does a great job handicapping for a bunch of different places. And it's basically the best advice for new bettors is just to not bite off more than you could chew, so to say.
Amen to that.
And to basically handicap what you feel comfortable and what you like the most to watch. Because if you try to take on too many sports, it just buries you. And you miss things in the sports that you really are good at, because your attention span is too thin. So as much as I'd love to come on all these shows and, spew out all this great NBA knowledge, I've got a lot of really close friends that do the NBA really well. If I ever really wanted advice, I would go to them. And now that we're in the playoffs, it's obviously front and center. So I'll pay attention to it and I'll be able to talk about it. But I don't have this arsenal of NBA wagering knowledge to throw at you today, because today's really the first day that I really got excited about the NBA games that are on the card. That's how weird. Maybe Christmas Day, but besides that, it's just I don't pay a ton of attention to it during the regular season.
Nothing wrong with that at all, man. There's so much going on, and of course, from the handicapping perspective, it's about winning money, and you do a great job. So I'm not trying to force anything on you, but of course, we're all going to be encapsulated by the next 2 months of all things NBA.
Yes.
And hopefully we get some really good series and maybe some upsets. I think it would be, really cool to see maybe Sacramento upset Golden State, or maybe somebody come out of the East like the 76ers. I think a lot of people could get behind that. I don't know. But well, we'll see what happens.
It's possible. I don't see, to be honest with you, though, I think the West is the only conference where there's chaos.
It's just such a grinder, man. It's a grinder.
I just don't see how it's not, and I know you're not going to like this, but I just don't see how it's not Boston and Milwaukee. And again, I haven't watched these teams a lot this year. I'm basing it off of what I've gleaned from my close friends that really do pay attention, and just from the point differentials and the way these teams have played this year, and just a cursory glance at the market. It seems like the West is bracing for chaos and the East is bracing for Boston, Milwaukee, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Look, nobody's going to deny that. Everyone's probably going to agree with you from even here in Philly. Just, the odds are stacked against them, and trying to beat Milwaukee in a 7-game series, or Boston. It's just not what they do. So we'll see if that's how it plays out, but upsets
could happen. But you win the first round against the Nets.
Yeah.
I think I think you guys are in good shape there.
Yeah, definitely. But that's the last 3 years though, Jared, even more, first series, sure. Second series, stop it. All right.
It was really the Eastern Conference Finals. That was where you got tripped up 3 years ago or 4 years ago with the Kawhi shot. That was really
that was the semifinals. That wasn't even the finals.
Oh, that wasn't even the finals?
Yeah.
When was the last time the Sixers were in the Eastern Conference Finals?
When they won
Allen
it.
Iverson days?
Yeah, when they won it and they went to the finals in 01. That was it. That was the last time. It's been a long time, my friend. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with Joel. Hey, one last one before you get out of here. Always a pleasure, sir. Anything there for you as far as number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft? Got to ask you the question, NFL draft.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, we're seeing movement. CJ Stroud was a big favorite last week. Next thing you know, are these numbers moved specifically because of mock drafts?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. They're because it's a herd market. If someone drops a piece of news and everyone follows the herd. I mean, we've already had steam on all 4 quarterbacks to be drafted 1 overall at some point in the last 3 or 4 months.
Even Levis?
At the combine, it was Will Levis and Anthony Richardson.
Wow.
Then it was Young. Then it was Stroud when the Panthers traded. Now we're back to Young. Like it was Bryce Young. Then it went the Anthony Richardson, Will Levis combine steam.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Panthers made the trade. It was CJ Stroud. Now we're back to Bryce Young where it all started. Like, again, if you played this market the proper way, which is fade the steam, you have plus 200 or longer on both Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, and you are sitting pretty. And that's it.
Yep.
That's how you play this market. You don't try to guess who's going to be the first overall pick. You try to fade the steam because this market has no bumpers to it. When I say bumpers, like, when you play bumper bowling, you bumper, and the bumpers are on the side so you can't go in the gutter. When you're betting a market like an NFL game, one pro has +7, the other pro has -8. And the line's going to be between those 2 numbers because when it gets to this number, someone's going to buy it back. That doesn't exist with this market. It's all driven on news and rumors. And there's no stopping point for the number. So it gets out of control before somebody finally decides to buy back. And it breeds getting middled and it breeds arbitrage. And especially with the number 1 draft pick, which is the most talked about pick, it's going to move violently. I'll be honest. I wouldn't be shocked if someone came out in the next 2 weeks and said it was CJ Stroud and it went back. It's that crazy, and I don't know who's going to be taken. I would take Bryce Young if I was the Panthers, but that's me. It's not who I want to take. It's who the Panthers want. It's a very hard that pick in particular is a very hard market. The markets that I like to handicap in the draft position of certain players, and also how many positions like wide receivers are going to go in a certain round. Those markets I think are a little more palatable. Because the number 1 pick is just it's so volatile.
Be here before we know it. Let's go.
Oh,
there's the jingle.
It's a great jingle.
Yeah, it is a great jingle.
It really is a great jingle.
They scored a touchdown with that jingle. Get it? With touchdown. You got it.
Oh, come on, man. Really?
Yeah. All right. Jared, you always score a touchdown when you join us. And I'm visualizing that end zone dance right now. Jared just got his feet done. He got a pedicure, man. He's a big pedicure type of guy.
If you're not interested in feet pics, don't go to my Instagram.
Dude,
should I get our foot pedicures?
I just want to come up and say this. I've never gotten one. And you know why I've not?
Bro.
My feet are so ticklish. My daughter messes with me. She always wants to tickle my feet. I freak out, man. I freak out.
Anyone's feet aren't ticklish. It gets ticklish, but listen, my feet feel happy afterwards. Like they do. Like I feel like
I believe it.
Like feet are like connected. They're like you can feel if your feet are gross, you feel it throughout the rest of your life.
Amen to that. When I bartended,
you got those claw nails.
Oh man, yeah. Take care of them dogs. Come on, man. They be barking in a big way.
Those alligators.
I'll tell you what. When I bartended, there was nothing better than when I got home and I would just put my feet right into a nice cold bucket of water.
Oh yeah.
Freeze them up. Or even the hot water, man. My dogs would be just
Yeah, it's horrible.
Jared Smith, always a pleasure. Can't thank you enough, sir. Good luck on your plays. We'll catch up next week, my friend.
Love you guys. Be well.
My man, there he is.
Cold water?
Live from Las Vegas.
You would dip your feet in cold water?
Yes.
Wouldn't that suck?
No.
That would definitely suck.
It would rejuvenate them.
It would rejuvenate them?
Yes. Do you understand the benefits of a cold tub? It's everywhere right now. I'm buying one for my backyard. Not like one of those.
A cold tub?
Yes. Yeah, Mike Powers. We got to see if PC Rich and son are going to have Oh, Mike Powers.
I love a good hot
Powers
tub.
Parlays coming your way, baby.
What's up?
6 p.m. every Tuesday night. What's up, big man?
Let's go. Yeah, we're not in the bathtub business yet.
Not a bathtub. Do you know
we
what I'm
always
talking
say
about?
yet. Yeah,
The ice tub.
I see Frankie Edgar, like even his kids go on
All of them.
It's nuts.
Yeah,
man.
and you do like 2 to 3 minutes. Of course, Rogan is the big one.
Try-
But all I know is this. I was doing this 20 years ago.
Okay.
All right. When I would bartend and get home, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm soaking my dogs. Soaking them in a big way. Whether it was hot or cold, most of the time we'll go cold with the ice. I had this container that was like perfect for your feet, right? Had 2 little slots. Now, the benefits, all you gotta do is like a minute per day in that bad boy, man. Your blood circulation, everything, just next level. And it stays with you. That's the thing. It's not like you get out and it's like, your body is just back to no, like it stays with you. You get this energy. I need one and I'm going to get one. I was looking at it. It's $125. I'm putting it in the backyard. Like the big thing is if you spend the money, these things are like $300-$400.
Right.
But they keep the ice like a Yeti. You know, like if you leave ice in a Yeti for a week, it's there.
It's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the kicker. Like if you spend a good money on it, first of all, you get the big size one, and the ice will stay as long as you keep it covered. The one I'm going to buy for $125, it says it keeps the ice in there for a couple of days. I'm not going to expect it, but yeah, man, I can't wait to get that thing in the backyard.
Brace is going to show up with frostbite.
Yeah, I know.
Can't do the board anymore.
I'll give you my picks. I'll give you my picks from the ice tub. Ooh, I like that
sounds
Phillies.
terrible. Oh my God. Even when my
-2.
shower's not a little bit hot, I can't go in.
But that's a shower.
Yeah, okay, but still, my feet are a part of that. I don't know. No cold.
Yeah.
No cold.
No,
give me the hot.
My
tub.
buddy Ty, he does only cold showers. I was like,
No, no.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
that is weird. Yeah.
That is psycho behavior.
He's one with the earth.
Ty, the cold shower taker. Yeah, that is. Well, what does it mean? Well, what? I'm not with the earth. I'm not present in my moment because I take a hot shower. Are you kidding me? You should see what I'm thinking about in that shower when I got the hot water beating over my
great.
bald head. Mike Powers, off and running here. You hit 2 parlays last Tuesday.
Crazy, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Well, I had the whole daily ticket. Jansen had a great lineup to kind of build them, and yeah, they hit.
See, my shows are much better than yours, Sean.
Wow.
Spoiler alert, that's not going to happen
Yeah.
often. No, I'm just kidding.
I have great guests on my show.
What are you looking at for tonight, though? From
So we're looking at weather. Like I'm going to talk about that the first segment. A lot of people don't realize how much that plays into effect.
Why? What's
like
out
Citizens Bank right now? It's like
it's hitting season.
It's like a 2% chance that a homer could happen, but it's an 8% chance a base hit will happen tonight. So it's like you got to look at everything as a whole. Like Coors Field right now, it's like a negative 12% chance
because of the weather.
Because of the weather.
Why?
Yeah.
What's going on with the weather at Citizens Bank?
Just the way it's hot, muggy, like you said. The weather's changing. It's colder. It's going to get colder by game time.
I think it's hitting season today, boys.
It was yesterday for sure.
Yes, it was.
And you guys looked real. The Phillies looked really, really good.
So did the Mets. Mets look good. I was texting you. So the Mets looked good last night. I watched that game.
Yeah,
they're okay.
Well, also San Diego was traveling, so they were the Sunday night game.
I was mad at myself.
The Sunday night trend.
I was mad at myself because I looked at that game going, damn, the Mets were to play. They were to play on the board. That was the easiest play of the day.
No.
I did like the Phils. What else did I have last night? I don't remember off the top of my head. But tonight I'm going with the Dodgers out there in LA. Dustin May on the mound. Love Dustin May. Matter of fact, I needed to put a future on him as far as Cy Young is concerned. Let me look that up.
Actually, Coors Field could be hopping with homers today.
Yeah.
14%. So
interesting. All right.
I wonder what the average is for Coors there compared to the rest.
Oh, it's got to be a lot.
Yeah, right. I know it is, but I wonder what the percentages of that actually say.
John Jansen, you like my play for Dustin May, Cy Young Award winner? He's not even listed. How is that? That is crazy.
Yeah, it is. I think he's going to end up being the best pitcher on the Dodgers by the end of the season.
Which
is also why I picked Julio Urias, because he's going to. I know he pitches the most for them.
Sandy, he's no.
He's
joke.
not going to win again. He's not going to win again.
I don't know. He could.
He's not going to win again.
Why not?
Because he's not going to put up those ridiculous numbers he had last year, and he had to put those up in a season where the Marlins are bad.
Oh, Dustin May is listed. Dustin May is listed. He's 40-1. I'm gonna put a nice little future, and just so everybody knows, so they can't unit shame me, I'm putting $20 on him. plus 820, putting $20. There's a future on Dustin May to win the Cy Young.
Considering the names he's around, Dustin May is going to have a better season than Jesus Luzardo, Logan Webb, Kyle Wright, Nick Lodolo. I would even say Yu Darvish. So yes, he's at a price point compared to other pitchers in the National League that I would put over.
All right. Yeah, we put it there. We got it in there. All right. We will talk more Major League Baseball on the other side. We'll go over all the games. We got 15 games in total. A lot to discuss right from the jump.
A lot of dogs. You gotta find some dogs today.
Yeah.
There are some huge money.
Dogs are barking in a big way. Find out who we like on the other side. First game up 6:10 p.m. Yankees and the Cleveland Guardians. Garrett Cole on the mound, minus 180. Guardians got Gaddis.
I might have an underdog for you, Sean.
Plus 155. The dogs are barking on the other side. Find out who. Back after this.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Heads up, we've had a crash in Easttown Township, Sugartown Road at Church Road. Traffic's being directed around the scene. Also one in White Marsh at Ridge Pike and Spring Mill Road. Just volume on the Schuylkill, but we're jammed up westbound University past Girard, the city to Belmont. And so glad with the contact. And eastbound heavy 202 to Gulf Mills, Blue Route to Belmont, then Stop and Go Boulevard to South. The Vine Expressway westbound backed up 95 to the Schuylkill. 95 northbound jam Vine Expressway up to Bridge. Southbound jam Academy to Bridge. Delays on the Blue Route southbound St. David's Media Swarthmore. All right, to tell total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Shop Springfest at Lowe's today and save big on select major appliances. Get an additional $100 off select laundry pairs when you spend $1,296 or more. Valid through 4/12. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
From tee to green, the best place to go to get in on all the action happening on the links is DraftKings Sportsbook. This week, new customers will receive an odds boost to add plus 1,000 to any pre-tournament wager up to $10 on any golfer to win. So, for example, if you're a new customer and you see a golfer to win the tournament at plus 1,000 odds, DraftKings will boost that golfer to plus 2,000 odds for your shot at a bigger payout. DraftKings will be featuring parlays and odds boosts all tournament long, so be sure to check the DraftKings Sportsbook app every day before the tournament starts to see what they have in store. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use promo code DING, D-I-N-G, and boost your odds during this weekend's tournament. That's code DING only on DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only. Odds boost token expires 7 days after issuance. Minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/golf terms. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, "My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver," unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
iHeart Podcasts is excited to welcome Jay Shetty to the iHeart family. Tune into On Purpose with Jay Shetty, the hit podcast where the former monk shares fascinating conversations with insightful people and investigates ways to live life today on purpose.
Try something new. When was the last time you did something for the first time with your partner? We're used to watching them do the same things, do the same activities. Let's see them do something fresh and new.
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on the iHeart Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone, America's #1 brakes destination. We have the pads, rotors, drums, shoes, and brake fluids to improve your stopping power. Right now, save 15% when you get any 2 Duralast rotors with a set of Duralast brake pads. Missing a tool? Ask about our free Loan-A-Tool program and borrow the tools you need to get the job done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the MPD Group 2021. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No. Call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com. Coming up at 6 o'clock, the baseball discussion rolls on with Mike Powers. The Powers Parlays with Mike Powers right here on The Gambler. That's at 6. Jon Jansen, you stick around with Mike Powers on that one?
Of course.
Nice.
Thanks, buddy.
Always.
My wife called me. My wife.
Because I at least know Sean's not going to do it.
No, I can't.
Oh, see? You can't.
My
Never
wife
can.
My wife hit me up earlier today and said she's having a back problem. So that's not good. She said she's hurting. And I'm like, would you call a doctor? And she's like, which doctor? And I'm like, hey. So I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I've been going to the gym and I was going.
You look great.
I feel great. Thanks,
good.
Mike. Thank
You look terrible.
I feel good. Getting my fit back. I'm starting to feel a little bit better about my life as we are entering into the to the beach part.
Just got
real. Well,
Yeah, it did.
Look,
Feeling better about life.
I stuffed my face for football season.
Yeah,
and
me too.
then it rolled into March Madness, and I'm just like, dude, what is going on? So actually lost 10 lbs. I'm stuck on 221, but I've been going to the gym, working my butt off. So if I can continue that, it's all that matters. I don't care about the weight as long as I'm, working out. It's all that matters. But my wife was like, yeah, I need you to come home if you don't mind. So I don't know what the hell's going on. Hopefully she's all right, but sounds like a back problem. And if there's somebody that knows about a bad back, it's this guy right here. So got to go home and hold it down. Can't do the gym here. And I couldn't stick around for Powers Parlays. I would have, though.
No, he would not.
Yes, I would
I
have.
don't believe it.
I
He always says that he's going to do things. And he
I
never
would
does it.
have.
Just a bit outside.
All right, daily ticket here, though. Let's talk some baseball. What do you say? And fire up DraftKings Sportsbook. Take a peek at some of the games here. First up, Yankees and Guardians. I did call them the Indians earlier today. Garrett Cole has been amazing, to say the least. 2-0 to open up this short season, or this early part of the season. Last night, Yankees ended up getting beaten where the Indians only got I did it. The Guardians only got 4
You're
hits.
doing great. Keep going.
But
You got it.
got 9 walks. Unbelievable. Diego Herman did not do so good last night.
What did you just call him?
Isn't it Herman?
Yeah, what'd you say his first name
Oh,
was?
Domingo, not Diego. Domingo, sorry. Garrett,
Man, you are on fire right now.
Garrett
tell
Cole
you.
tonight, though. Your thoughts?
Garrett Cole's been great.
Diego.
Hunter Gaddis is on the mound for Cleveland.
Gaddis.
I would say that this may it should have been a shorter line. I'm seeing like -190, like this very high money line for the Yankees. But the reason for it, Cleveland's lineup has actually not been good. So, Sean, you wanted to get some numbers here.
Yes.
Runs created plus against right-handed pitching. Cleveland is 25th this season. They're not able to create runs, and they're going up against, I think, Garrett Cole. To me, has he looked like the best pitcher in baseball so far this season through 2 games and through like a week and a half? I would say yes. I think he has looked like the best, most dominant pitcher in baseball so far. And I know that's crazy to say for a guy that I thought coming into the season was a bit overvalued. He's looked great. So maybe he's back on the sticky stuff, or he's finally learned how to pitch without it. Either way, he's going to be too good for this lineup. So yeah, I love Garrett Cole in this matchup. I don't know what I would take, though. Obviously, you're going to be looking at individual props with him, like strikeouts or how many outs he gets. But I can't bet that money line just because, I think Gaddis has been good enough that he could keep this game close.
So you just jinxed Cole. He's gonna have the worst game.
I know he's
of his
gonna have
life.
the worst game of his life.
He's gonna give
be
up 5 runs
terrible.
in 3 innings.
Yeah, no sticky stuff. Garrett Cole's gonna show up again.
Yeah, he's so he's finally playing the way the Yankees thought he would. But it, like you said, it's a small sample size. I don't know. Like you said, maybe the sticky stuff is back. I know MLB is open to bringing something like that back, but they haven't yet, allegedly. But we'll be the last people to know if they do.
I would love to know because Cole's pitched. I mean, numbers have been way down without it. I would love to see what his rotations per minute RPMs are, and if it's back to what it was. But maybe it is. I don't know. So far, though, his stuff has looked the best out of any pitcher I've seen in baseball this season.
Mike Powers, I send you the stream, so I want to see if that's like so pull it up in there, see if we can add you to this visual.
Little
here.
triple threat action.
Little triple threat. Let's keep it moving. Let's talk about the Houston Astros, who lumped up the Pirates. If I'm not mistaken, saw this little number. Javier for the Astros has just been on fire. The Astros have won their last 10 with him starting. That includes the playoffs from last year. He's got a 1.29 ERA over that span. Thank you, MLB Network, for those stats. Javier this evening taking on the Pirates. Game being played in Pittsburgh. Minus 165 favorite, going off at 6:35 p.m. Anything there, boys?
No, it's a high number, but yeah, Christian Javier, he's the pitcher I like the most in Houston.
Yeah,
I thought he was great last season. Everybody's talking about Framber Valdez and how great he was. And every time I kept looking, like, man, the other guy looks better. Christian Javier looks better than he does. And he's not even pitching his best. So his whip is up. His whip is up to a 1.27. It can obviously get better. But you look at things like FIP and XFIP. His XFIP is a little high, 3.83, but I think it's balanced out. Obviously, these are all small sample size numbers. His xERA is 2.74. His FIP is 1.67. Compared to his 3.27 ERA. So he's pitching really well, and it's not even like his best performances. I think it can get better, and I think he's going to do just fine against the Pirates. Obviously, Mitch Keller, though, looking pretty good.
Mitchie.
But, yeah, I would like Houston.
Mitchie. Yeah, we do have a little three-way action on the on the site now at Fox PHL Gambler. We are streaming live.
Well, that's like on the Divide last week, I mentioned how fun it is to golf with you. And I was like, having a foursome with Brace is great. And Corey's like,
hello.
Yeah.
Hey now.
I said,
Just a bit outside.
I said being in a foursome with Brace is a fun time.
No,
There
Brace
you
is horrible to golf with.
Yeah, we gotta
he's a
get
party.
Nikki Cass, man. Can we get Nikki Cass?
I'm working on that.
Oh, what about
So,
me?
Yeah.
Oh, how about Jon Jansen?
You're hosting, so
So I told Jeff to
okay.
reserve a 4 just in case, and him. And
Everybody gets
Todd
to have
or-
fun but me around here.
Oh.
Happens all the time.
well, you could have fun.
We get to
No,
see you
no,
around
I don't
the
get to have
turn.
fun.
Also,
I
you'll
just- I
probably
gotta
be
host
right next to
shows.
the beer cart.
Yeah.
See, I can't do that.
We'll be taking
though.
care of you.
Last time I took, I don't know if we have Rip It Energy.
No, we
They were
don't.
there last time.
Actually, no. I take that back. Rip It, I think, is back.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I drank 2 of those before the show, and I
Rip it!
was bouncing off the walls.
More of that.
That was
please.
not good.
We'll skip the A's and Orioles. It's a big
Oh,
number. Moving on.
Yeah,
off
just
of
skip that one. Skip that one.
already-
Red Sox Rays.
We already did
Skip
Marlins and Phils. Let's talk the Red Sox and Rays. You're talking about a team that's 10-0. Are they due for a loss? That's all I
Yes.
really have for you.
Yes.
Yeah, they're due for a loss, and Garrett Whitlock is actually pretty good.
Correct.
Like, I think Garrett Whitlock can actually pitch well against them. And Shane McClanahan, obviously off to a good start, but how much of that is the lineups aren't good that he's faced?
7
So
and
I
a
think this could be a
half.
shot. It was only 1-0 last game. You know, I don't know if this is the one that it finally happens, but I can at least say this is probably one of the better pitching matchups that they've had to face, and also a better lineup than they've had to face. And I think this could be a chance for it.
All right. Well,
Not my favorite play.
I would
No.
take the Sox here, and I would take the over on 7.5.
I'm taking another Sox.
The
team.
Rays are absolutely mashing, so why not? I know the Sox have been struggling.
Yeah, I'm going with a different Sox tonight.
All right. Not much for you in the Tigers and Blue Jays. Vlad Guerrero's ripping the cover off the baseball. He's got a
No.
5-game.
Yeah, Alec Manoah hasn't been great, but
He's
Tigers
going-
lineup stinks.
That's a minus
Manning's
275
fine,
number.
but-
Mets and Padres. Let's discuss it. Peterson on the mound versus
Yeah,
Weathers.
Powers can, because I got nothing on this one.
I think you're going to see the real Padres tonight. Let's put it that way. So I'm really more excited for this matchup than anything. And also, like, those little fun hits that the Mets had, they could start something. So I'm hoping the offense really starts to kick it up a notch. You know, also, you got to watch out for stolen bases. Teams have figured out that they could run on the Mets, and they did it all Sunday. The Marlins did against our new Francisco Alvarez, our new catcher. And it's just a really, it's for that. Other than those quick hits, I feel like the Mets are still a little flat-footed. So I'd like to see them really break out and start performing the way we should be, the way the Mets should be.
Okay. Well, Alonso's leading the charge. He's tied
Mm-hmm.
for home runs as far as lead is concerned. He's got 5 home runs. He's doing really well. I think there's just an early part of the season. The Mets will continue, and that was a big win for them last night. So we'll see what happens this evening against the Padres, though. Let's keep it moving. Reds and Braves. You got Kyle Wright. This is another big number, minus 230. Anything there, 720 start?
Well, you're going minus 230 for a guy making his debut this season. Kyle Wright coming into the season injured. So you're paying a big time number when I don't know how long Kyle Wright is going to go, what shape he's going to be in. But if he's pitching well, then yeah, he's going to do fine because obviously a bit of a second half slump, I would say, for Kyle Wright last season. But he was an MVP, not an MVP, a Cy Young candidate last year, and he pitched really well for them. And this Braves team is great. So I got nothing here. Sessa's been fine. 1.31 whip, 3.38 ERA, but this is the kind of game where, you're going up against one of the better lineups in baseball, and I wouldn't really play around with that.
All right, and you said you like the White Sox, Lance Lynn tonight.
I do. So Lance Lynn's not off to a great start, but the Twins aren't actually hitting that well. So I love the Twins coming into the season. I still think the Twins are going to do well. But at this moment, the Minnesota Twins are not hitting very well. And so they're kind of getting overpriced because they started off the season winning a lot of games, and a lot of that was their starting pitching. But Pablo Lopez this season, 0.75 ERA, but everything's indicating that ERA, obviously it's not going to stay, but he's not been pitching that well. 3.07 FIP, which is good, and 3.05 xFIP. But it tells me that there's regression on the way for Pablo Lopez. And the Chicago White Sox lineup, as we all know, they hit better against lefties than they do against right-handed pitching. But even against right-handed pitching, I think they're 8th in runs created plus. This is one of the best lineups in baseball. They're a top 3 lineup, I would say, at the moment. Dodgers and Tampa Bay at the top, with Tampa Bay really leading the pack over everyone. But this Chicago White Sox lineup has been excellent. So I think I can at least bet on a lineup that's going to be pretty good. And again, I think positive regression on the way for Lance Lynn. He has an ERA of 9. He's going to pitch better at some point, and this Minnesota lineup has not been hitting well. So I think that's an underdog play where I'm getting the better lineup. And the pitching matchup, I may not have maybe the advantage, but I could see maybe some reverse trends going in that direction.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think the White Sox win. To be honest with you, I'm looking at this right now. I think Minnesota is going to start to.
I mean, they could
perform.
For sure. Pablo Lopez isn't this kind of pitcher.
No, I agree.
And I love the way the White Sox lineup is looked. It's just you got to trust Lance Lynn, and obviously Lance Lynn struggled last year. A lot of that was injuries, and I thought this year would be a better season for him, but it's just not been the case. I mean, inflated numbers everywhere in the last 2 games.
But I have Buxton going off tonight. That's what I'm hoping.
Ooh,
I love Buxton.
Yeah, he's fun.
One of the few guys in that lineup doing.
Speaking of going off, Jordan Walker, 10-game hit streak. That kid,
he's a stud.
He's a beast.
Stud, absolute stud.
Rookie of the year, plus 365.
Yeah, we were talking about that before the season started, and even now, that Cardinals lineup. I think Nootbaar's even hurt right now.
He's a beast.
But that Cardinals lineup with now Nootbaar, Brendan Donovan, Jordan Walker around Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, it's ridiculous.
They rebuilt.
That lineup is so good,
so quick. Yeah,
so good.
So nasty.
They just need to get better pitching.
All right, my plays tonight are like the Dodgers. I'm going with the Diamondbacks. I'm taking the 8.5. I like Cat to go over 23.5.
May has been awesome.
Go Heat. I got
love
5.
riding with May.
5 plays right there for you. Well, if you didn't get enough of Jon Jansen, lucky for you, he's coming up next while he's riding shotgun.
No. I'm riding backseat. Not even shotgun. I'm backseat.
With the
the
great
guy really leading the way.
Mike Powers Parlays coming your way. Ladies and gentlemen, do not touch that dial. He's got you from 6 to 7. We'll be back tomorrow. Brand new Daily Ticket at 3 p.m. Everybody have yourself a wonderful Tuesday night. Go Phils. Talk to you tomorrow. Peace. Yeah? You got something to say? Huh?
Spreads, totals, and all the prop bets in between. It's The Gambler.
Hey, Sean Brace here. You thinking about buying a home? Well, the spring market is very competitive, so now is the time to strategize. My Philly House made over